Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, it sure is. Welcome to the program, everyone. It is Friday, October 11th, 2 days after the hurricane. We were here live yesterday. We're back here live today, and we have a lot to cover. Oh, man, did you guys catch the disaster that was Kamala Harris's town hall meeting on Univision? Oh, my goodness. Disaster for Kamala Harris. In fact, it was maybe the biggest disaster in the history of a presidential nominee. It has to be someone from the major parties, not some fringe lunatic in a primary. She's the nominee. This very well may have been the biggest disaster any presidential candidate has had at this level on television. And I'm going to play some of the clips, but there's one I can't play for you. I've just got to describe it. I'll play some of the audio. It was beautiful. I want to thank Univision for translating it into English so that I could understand it and share it with everyone. But there was one thing that's a visual. Kamala Harris was caught reading a teleprompter as she was speaking at a town hall. How the heck did that happen? I was not aware that when presidential candidates spoke at town hall meetings that they had teleprompters that they were reading from. I've never seen that before. I promise you Republicans haven't, at least not this one, Donald Trump, our favorite president. She got busted, and that means that's collusion with Univision. Isn't Univision part of NBC? Oh, boy, the ones that floated that fake story that DeSantis wasn't taking Kamala's calls. But anyway, the camera angle caught her using the teleprompter at the town hall, which are supposed to be totally spontaneous and raw and unfiltered and live. And as soon as it got caught on camera, boom, it went dark. They didn't want you to see it. Pretty bad, pretty brutal. And, you know, that's the second time that happened. It happened at the Oprah Winfrey town hall. She was reading what she was supposed to say off the teleprompter at Oprah's. That is, I have never seen anything like that before. But the questions she was asked and her answers were just devastating for Kamala Harris. Let me just play it. Let's get to it. No beating around the bush. By the way, today is Friday. All power has been restored. Our phones are up and running today. And Friday's show is open phones, the 1 day a week. When the show prep is up to you and the listening audience, we call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. And on Open MAGA Mike Friday, you are welcome to call in about any and everything on your mind. You are not limited to the topics that I bring up, although I would hope you would find what I'm saying interesting enough to at least give me some comment. But you don't have to. You can talk about anything you want to talk about when you call in on Friday's show. Our number toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. But here's one of the questions. Woman got up and talked about the rising cost of, well, everything in Kamala Harris's America.
I used to spend $250 a week in food, and now it goes up to $350.
$400 to go over, $350 in groceries.
Ooh.
No nada más ha subido la comida, sino
Not only do I talk about food, but utilities, clothes, everything is
like
much
water,
more expensive.
Energy, and clothes.
Sí, y bueno, pues yo soy de la clase media.
I am middle class, and I work a lot, and just like everybody else in the middle class, we work very hard. You said we're ambitious, but that ambition, sometimes it's really difficult to keep up with because we see life is going up, and we just simply cannot go ahead. We can't move ahead.
Okay, now, before I go on, I love this. Thank you, Univision, for the translation. Why does he have to repeat it? Can't she just hear the translation through her earrings? But, you know, this shows you what racist bigots the Democrats are. They think every Hispanic person, every Latino and Latina is some illegal border jumper from some mental institution or prison in Venezuela. They don't understand that most Hispanic people in this country are hardworking people like the rest of most people. And they can't afford to eat because you're a wreck, Kamala. See, this woman, she's really living life. She's not getting through life on sugar daddies. Prices are up, can't make the rent, can't make the car payment. You call up a sugar daddy, you go out on a date, next thing you know, everything's paid. That's not the real world, Kamala. I'm sorry to tell you.
And you said we're ambitious, but it's hard to maintain that ambition when conditions are so hard, so challenging.
Yes. Mi pregunta es entonces.
So my question is as follows. What are you going to do to help the middle class so that the cost of living does not destroy us?
The middle class.
Thank you for the question and your point. Listen, I know prices are too high still. You know prices are too high still. And we have to deal with it. Here's how I feel about it. Again, you've heard my story. I come from the working class. I'm never going to forget where I come from.
First off, this working class, it used to be middle class, now it's working class. I saw her with this shovel the other day. She never touched a shovel in her life. College professors are not the working class. Both of her parents, Marxist college professors. That is not the working class. In fact, college professors, full-time college professors, if they have a heavy load, teach 3 classes a week. Right? 3 classes a week. So this idea that she comes from a working class background is just insane. But remember, the woman said, I can't afford to eat. Groceries used to cost $200, now it's $350. Everything's gone up. What are you going to do? I got a family. We're hungry. Everything's up. Car payments, rent, more. Everything's up. What are you going to do?
Thank you for the question and your point. Listen, I know prices are too high still. You know prices are too high still. And we have to deal with it. Here's how I feel about it. Again, you've heard my story. I come from the working class. I'm never going to forget where I come from. Yes. And part of what we have to do is build what I call an opportunity economy, where people have the opportunity, like you have described, for you to be able to work hard and your 5 daughters have an opportunity to then do what they and what you aspire for them to be able to do without having to worry about just getting by. I want you to be able to get ahead. So here's my plan. It includes what we need to do to bring down the cost of, for example, groceries. One of the issues I'm going to be taking...
Oh my goodness, is price gouging. It's not price gouging. Price gouging is this. We just had this hurricane hit Florida. Right? And gas price is, I'll make the $3.50 a gallon. Gas station's independently owned. Because there's a hurricane, all of a sudden, he just changes the sign. It's $7 a gallon. That's price gouging. Price gouging isn't a business raising their prices because everything cost more. That's not price gouging. So she has no plan. That's a Trump voter right there. Now, that's just the beginning. I got some more of that we're going to play, and there's a lot to cover on the program this morning. I want to tell you guys about Dr. Philip Appleton. You know, I often tell you, with Dr. Appleton, his laser wave pain treatment will rid you of pain like he's done with me 5 times. And I often say, appointments are not necessary, walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturdays. Well, tomorrow is Saturday. Imagine on Saturday, boom, you can walk right in, no appointment. And the reason Dr. Appleton does that is he knows that when you're in pain, you need help, you need relief, and you need it now. You know, with the laser wave pain treatment, there are no drugs. First off, drugs don't do anything. If you're taking those hard, you might get addicted. But all drugs do is mask the pain. The pain, there's something broken, there's something torn, there's something damaged, whatever it is. I'm not a doctor, but there's something broken inside of you. And the pain is the signal telling you something's wrong, it needs to be fixed. You take pain medication and dope yourself up, all you're doing is masking the pain. The problem's still there. Dr. Appleton's laser wave pain treatment actually repairs the damage that is causing the pain. That's why when he's rid me of pain these 5 times, the pain hasn't returned, because he repaired the damage that was causing me the pain. Works on every type of pain I've ever heard of. You've heard many of our listeners in our recorded messages who have called in and shared their stories with Dr. Appleton. Give Dr. Appleton a call and say bye-bye to your pain too. 954-973-0710. Remember, pain is not just a part of growing older. You don't have to live in pain. Stop your suffering. Get your life back. Pain-free. You know, when I had all these pain, in particular my knee pain, oh man, it hurt so bad I just wanted to go to sleep. You know that kind of pain? Gone. And it hasn't returned. Over 2 years ago, he rid me of my knee pain. 954 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. All right, 15 minutes after the hour, we'll be right back.
Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Now, guys, at the top of the chat, I put a link in there. ActicFox, who is in the chat room all the time, has an Etsy shop, and she's supporting and sponsoring the program. And if you click that link, you'll find some great products, some great things for yourself, great Christmas gifts, great prices. And she's been a supporter of this program for a long time. She's in the chat room all the time, even on the podcast. ActicFox, that's her Etsy shop. It is a great shop. And everything is customized, personalized keepsakes for your home. You see incredible gifts that are gifts that whoever you give them to will have them for years to come and keep them as keepsakes. Just click that link at the top of the live chat and take a look. I'd appreciate it. And so would ActicFox. You guys know ActicFox. Or a lot of you do if you're here regularly. All right.
SouthFloridaChamber.com.
When it comes to dental work, there's no one better than Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. But don't just take my word for it. This is Richie the bus driver. He called in on the air to share his experience with Dr. Gupta. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie. Dr. Gupta. I go 130.
On his price gouging.
I had a broken tooth. He fixed it. It was supposed to be temporary. It lasted 2 years. He put dentures in my mouth that are a lot cheaper than anybody else. And he's excellent and no pain. I recommend this guy. To me, he's the best ever. So I want to get that out of the way.
Listen to Richie the bus driver.
Oh, make sure I turn the phones on.
Brighton Dental. 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM. The Treasure Coast. 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at True Oldies FLA.
All righty, we are back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, 18 minutes after the hour. Okay, so Kamala had the most disastrous town hall I've ever seen a Democrat have. It's amazing. Univision, tough question. She's got no answers. And I'm going to drop something a little later. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it this hour or the next hour that sums everything up about Kamala, and we'll get to that in just a bit. This is, again, clips from the disaster, the Titanic town hall meeting that Kamala had on Univision. Here's a guy who's a veteran of the United States Navy.
Good medical insurance.
And supposedly we have very good health care.
But the times that we have to wait to see a specialist are sincerely ridiculous. Finally, after 2 years of waiting, I was approved for an MRI.
Finally, after 2 years, I was able to get an MRI.
But I was told that I needed to wait for over a month to begin my rehabilitation. So I made the decision to cross the border into Mexico, and in Tijuana I found a specialist without having to make an appointment. I went to his clinic, and in 45 minutes I was being taken care of, and my rehabilitation had begun.
Mexico, and in less than 45 minutes I was already seeing a specialist and having rehab.
My question to you is, what is your plan to improve the medical system?
Look, I come from the middle class. My mother was...
Oh, my goodness. Here we're back with that middle class crap again. Is that her answer to everything? You know, these people, This is, after the bottom of the hour break, I'm going to play this one. I'm going to drop this one thing to you that sums up everything about this idiot and what's going on here, okay? I was going to wait till later, but I'm going to do it. I don't like to tease, like, oh, stay tuned till later. I'll do it after the bottom of the hour break. This bird brain, pretty much every answer. Listen, I come from the middle class. Listen, I'm from the working class. Okay, so what? Well, you're not there now, okay? You're not there now. You're a millionaire many times over, and God bless you. But just because you say you're middle class, what do they have, some focus group that has told them that if she says she comes from the middle class, they go, woo, she's one of us. Listen, you're not one of us. I'm not a Canadian, okay? Raised by foreigners in a foreign land.
His clinic, and in 45 minutes I was being taken care of, and my rehabilitation had begun.
In Mexico, and in less than 45 minutes, I was already seeing a specialist and having rehab.
My question to you is, what is your plan to improve the medical system?
Look, I come from the middle class. My mother was a working woman who raised me and my sister. My mother was able to finally, she saved up.
This thing before I finish, I know, I'm sorry to stop these all the time. I just get so pissed off at this lady. Do you know what profession has one of the longest life expectancies in this country, in the United States? You know what it is? This is the truth. College professors. I'm not kidding. I'm not trying to be funny. College professors have one of the longest lifespans of any other profession in this country. It's completely stress-free. They hardly work. They teach 3 classes a week, some less. There's no accountability. There's no stress. And, some of them have sex with their students. That is not the working class. That's the lazy class.
What is your plan to improve the medical system?
Look, I come from the middle class. My mother was a working woman who raised me and my sister. My mother was able to finally, she saved up to be able to afford to buy a home by the time I was a teenager. I know everyone has ambition, works hard, has aspirations, but doesn't necessarily have all the resources that other people have.
Okay. See, here's the problem. It's not enough to tell someone you hear their problems. You've got to have a solution. President Trump had a great plan for veterans, which he'll expand and make permanent. And that is, if you couldn't get help with your local Veterans Administration, you go see another doctor, a regular doctor. And that's it, and they'll take it. She's got no answers. It's not enough to say you're middle class, working class, and you hear their problem. What are you going to do about it? And then finally, this guy. Oh, this is beautiful. This is the best. Listen.
For instance, you earn your candidacy without going through the normal process. That is primary elections or through a caucus. That really.
I mean, Univision, does it sound like Univision wants Kamala to win? To me, it sounds like Univision, if you and I, if Donald Trump were preparing the questions, they would have been like this. This is like MAGA did this town hall. This is like she did a MAGA town hall. I got news for you. Hispanic people are MAGA.
For instance, you earn your candidacy without going through the normal process. That is primary elections or through a caucus. That really caught my attention.
A candidate without going through the primaries or a caucus, like it usually happens.
That sort of inclined me to vote for Trump. However,
wow, that inclines me to vote for Trump. Because you've got the nomination without getting any vote. It's almost like the place I escaped from or my parents escaped from in South America. That's what he's saying. You staged a coup.
Usually happens.
That sort of inclined me to vote for Trump. However, I'm still undecided. Also impacted me, and it was something quite different, how President Biden was completely destituted. It seems something unprecedented. And so close to the elections.
I'm right now leaning towards Trump, but I haven't made a decision. I'm also concerned about the way President Biden was pushed aside.
Oh, you mean our coup? The O is like, it's not supposed to be this way. What happened? Boy, you know when this was over, she was yelling and screaming at her staff. How did you do this to me? Why did you do this? Who did this? How did this happen?
And so close to the elections, I believe these are extraordinary circumstances.
Given how close we are to the election. So, la pregunta, Mario?
And Mario's question?
The question, Mario.
So the question is, how can you clarify this whole process and how you were elected?
Sure. And first of all, thank you for being so candid.
Yeah, you suck. That's what he's saying. And you launched a coup. You're a coup conspirator standing before me, and I'm sure she thanks him. Oh, my goodness. He's going to get knocks at the door from the... all of a sudden, they're going to check immigration status of people. You asked a question at the Univision town hall, you and your family better be ready to produce some papers, some green cards. This is a beautiful thing. So how did such a bird brain idiot get to where she is? I'm going to share it with you after the break. I mean, that was a beautiful town hall. I did not watch it live because I just didn't have it in me. I heard about it this morning when I got up and I went and watched it. And it's a beautiful town hall, isn't it? Oh, man, it doesn't get better than that. Okay, I do want to remind you, though, this open enrollment period, those of you that are Medicare recipients, you know what that means. It's the one time of year you can make changes to your existing Medicare policy. Once open enrollment is over, that's it. You want to call Debbie at I Will Advisors. She can help you no matter where you are located in the state of Florida. She'll review your policy at no charge. If you have a supplement, she'll make sure you're not paying too much. You know, Al Knight, our weekend guy, his mother went and met with Debbie at I Will Advisors, and Debbie reviewed Al Knight's mother's policy and saved her $400 a month on her supplement. That's amazing. Isn't that not amazing? Absolutely, it's amazing. So she'll make sure that if you have a supplement, you're not paying too much. She'll make sure that under your current plan, making sure that your doctors, your specialist, and your prescriptions are covered next year, and anything else you need, she'll help you with. And it costs you nothing. Debbie's family, the Klatzel family, have been with the Steve Kane Show since 1993, helping Steve Kane listeners with their Medicare each and every year. Give her a call. Now, if you call early and you get an answer machine, leave your name and number, and Debbie will call you back. And remember, no matter where you are in the state of Florida, Debbie and I Will Advisors can help you with your Medicare. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show.
Antes yo me gastaba.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And
now, guys, remember I pinned ActicFox's Etsy link to the top of the live chat. I'm going to put it in the description of the video right now. Click that link. Let me see if it might already be there. Let me check. I think I might have put it in. Yes, I did put it there. Her link is also in the description of the video if you're not watching live. ActicFox, she's always in the live chat for both the morning show and my podcast and live streams. And she's, of course, sponsoring the program and my stream right now. So if you click that link, you'll find some great things for yourself, great Christmas gifts. And it's a very good Etsy store. And she's a strong supporter of mine. So if you could click her link and support her, that would be awesome. So the link is pinned to ActicFox's Etsy shop to the top of the live chat, but it's also in the description of the video, guys, if you're not watching live. Okay. There it is. There's the clip. I mean, it's pretty bad. It's not enough being told what the problems are and saying you hear them. You've got to have solutions. That's what you're voting for with a president, someone that'll give you solutions. And she's got none of that. We'll be back shortly, guys.
Show's listeners keeps getting stronger and stronger. The Steve Kane Show listeners are truly the best customers we have ever had. They are courteous, intelligent, honest, and quite a joy to work with. We have completed thousands of projects for the listeners, from repairs, single-family homes, large HOA complexes, and churches, with great success, and every one of those customers are like family. We have installed all kinds of roofs, from asphalt shingles, clay and concrete tile, standing metal seam, slate tile, and flat roof systems.
Right,
so come on and let our family take care of your family. Call me on my cell at 954-604-4602 or find us on the web at laportacontracting.com. The number again is 954-604-4602.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years on the air.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, 34 minutes after the hour. So, the first half hour, I've been sharing some clips. I got some more I may play later, but Kamala Harris was just taken down big time by the people asking questions at the Univision town hall, and they were asking the questions that I would want to ask her, and her answers were pathetic, you know. And so, how did this happen? How did someone so stupid get to be nominated by the Democrat Party to be president of the United States? Because, I mean, she is. She's completely stupid. And I've been watching The Five this week, which I don't normally do, but they had Melania on the other day, so I didn't watch. Did you guys catch what Judge Jeanine said about this bird brain getting the nomination? Now, Judge Jeanine, I love Judge Jeanine. You guys like Judge Jeanine? Judge Jeanine is very close personal friends with Donald Trump. You know, she lives down here in South Florida. She spends time at Mar-a-Lago. She's in that circle. And, you know, some people that are in that circle, I listen very carefully to what they say because Judge Jeanine is an insider. And when Judge Jeanine says something, she's not just saying stuff, you know, like some people sitting at that table on The Five. She's sharing the insights of people from the Trump, either the Trump family, the Trump campaign, and political insiders. People that know. Okay? And when Judge Jeanine shared this thing I'm going to share with you, this clip I'm going to play of Judge Jeanine is probably the most newsworthy soundbite that's been out there all week so far as the presidential campaign. Let me share this with you because she is so right. Now, I always credit my sources. That's why I tell you, I don't take something from somebody and pass it off as my own. I could say what she says, but I want to play it, what Judge Jeanine says, and I'm going to add a little bit to it, of course, but I want to give Judge Jeanine all the credit that she deserves. This is so spot on the money. So what is being discussed here by Judge Jeanine, how did this bird brain get the nomination of the Democrat Party for President of the United States when she's so vacuous, she's so stupid, and she's just the worst? Listen.
Well, think about it. She made history by raising $1 billion in 80 days for a presidential candidate. That's unbelievable. And that's going to dampen the fundraising, okay? And I understand that it's so close in Pennsylvania that she's going to spend $350 million on ads in Pennsylvania. But here's the thing. We talk about there's supposed to be that beautiful blue wall. Kamala was supposed to be the surefire winner, but we weren't supposed to know that she couldn't speak or she couldn't respond or she couldn't do an interview. We weren't supposed to know that because Donald Trump was supposed to be in jail or worse. And that was the thinking. We were never supposed to know how inept she is at all of this, whether it's signifying or conveying a sense of empathy. Now, also, this whole idea she took for granted.
Okay, so, yeah, I know, exactly. So, and I want to add to that because there's a lot to be said here because the plan was disrupted. You know, Ron DeSantis, who's doing such a great job here in Florida after the hurricane, no doubt about it. But why did he do this career-devastating move of running against Trump in the primary? Because he thought, like the rest of the establishment, Trump was going to be in jail. Trump was supposed to be in prison right now. Right? Exactly. For the establishment and for the Democrats. Trump was going to be in prison. And they're so stupid that, you know, they don't understand the MAGA voters. They think because we support law and order, when they got the mugshot, we were going to say, oh my goodness, he's a criminal, lock him up. But we see what's going on with the lawfare, right? So Trump was supposed to be in prison right now or in jail awaiting sentencing or something. He was supposed to be in jail right now, maybe prison. Remember, the Bragg thing happened over a year ago, the first arrest of Trump with these trumped-up charges. All right? So what was their plan? Well, I'll tell you what their plan was. This is exactly what was going to happen. And it fell apart. They thought Trump was going to be in jail. So he wasn't going to be able to be the nominee. Which, by the way, very well may not have stopped it. Because we MAGA people would have really rallied behind him if they had him in jail. But the plan was to nominate for president for the Republicans, not Ron DeSantis. He was going to be the running mate. He was going to be the vice presidential nominee. They were going to plug in military-industrial complex and warmonger Nikki Haley. So this was the plan. They thought, and Judge Jeanine, you know, she talked about, and I'll add to what she says here. This was the plan. Trump was going to get arrested. He was going to go to jail. And getting arrested, getting the mugshot, going to jail, the MAGA people would, because we're law and order, remember what Obama says? We hold on to our Bibles and our guns. So we would say, we'd be in, lock him up. We support law and order. They were going to nominate Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis. Nikki Haley at the top of the ticket. And then Kamala. And how this came down, who knows at that point, but that was going to be the plan. Nikki Haley versus Kamala. Well, he didn't go to jail. And she alluded to it a little bit, but she stopped herself. He didn't go to jail. So what did they do? They shot him. And the bullet barely, it grazed him, but it was off target. And if you remember, when they shot Trump in Butler, we didn't have a pick for vice president yet. Right? We didn't have a pick for vice president. So when they failed at putting him in jail, they shot him. And it didn't go as planned. And that would have been chaotic, although, the massive loss. I just can't imagine. But because we hadn't had the convention, he hadn't even said who he was going to pick yet, what would have happened. Well, Don Jr. and Eric may have come out and said, well, he was going to pick JD. But then the move would have been, again, to plug in Nikki Haley, the warmonger, profiteer, military-industrial complex puppet. And maybe DeSantis, I don't know. And then versus Kamala. That was the plan. So Judge Jeanine is so right on the money. She said this on national television on Fox, and I'm glad she said it. We have this bird brain Kamala. We weren't ever supposed to go through this. There wasn't supposed to be a competition. We were going to be a nation grieving, whether it was grieving that our candidate was in prison, we were in disarray, or dead. So things are off the rails. For them. They're going perfectly for us. And on yesterday's show, I was sharing with you that the new Real Clear Politics is now giving Michigan to Trump. Polymarket's giving him Wisconsin. Trump is leading in 6 of the 7 battleground states. He's leading in all the battleground states except one, and that is Nevada. And today he has 2 events. One in Aurora, Colorado, which is under siege by Kamala's Dreamers and the Venezuelan prison gangs. And I'm hoping he shows the video of those Venezuelan prison gang members in that apartment building on the big screen. I want to hear the Colorado audience's reaction to that. That area is so vast and remote. Most people would be from Colorado, would be my guess. And then after that, he's going to Reno, where I'm imagining in Reno he's going to talk a lot about no taxes on tips. Because Nevada is a tourist state. And a lot of people live on those tips. No taxes on tips and other things too. He announced another one. Did you see that Donald Trump said yesterday he's going to make part of his tax cuts, no taxes on tips, no taxes on overtime, no taxes on Social Security. He added a new one, making car interest loans tax deductible. Car interest loans tax deductible. Like if you own a house, you own property, you can deduct your mortgage interest on your income tax. Can't deduct your car interest. That's big. First off, it's great for the car industry. People are more likely to go out and buy a car. But that's another tax deduction that people that don't pay income tax and only pay payroll tax, that'll be a big deduction for them. Democrats hate tax cuts. They want all that money for themselves. And I'm sure he'll be talking about that at both events today, that you'll be able to deduct from your taxes car financing. That's huge. Huge for people. Everyone pretty much in this country has a car. And the interest rates are pretty high. That's a big deduction. What Judge Jeanine brought up, I hope this opens up a dialogue on this. Because what she said is right. What I added on to it is also correct. But Trump being ahead in 6 of the 7 battleground states, it's over for them. But that doesn't mean we can give up. We still got to have a massive turnout. We need 100 million people to show up for Trump. All right, we're going to take our last break of the first hour. Our number, 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call, 1-888-465-2631. And, of course, it is open phones on Friday. You can call in about any and everything you want on Friday's show. You're not limited to the topics that we bring up. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. The show prep is up to you guys on Open MAGA Mike Friday, but I think I brought up a lot of good stuff, and I've got more we're going to get into as well. But our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Brian Craig here. Our 6th annual cruise is coming up, and you're all invited this time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the interest rates on car loans are loan shark numbers.
That 45 million people rely on.
Has fantastic free-to-attend events all year long. Join us for their next great expo in your area.
Coming up, it's their City Festival Business Expo and Health Fair, Saturday, October 19th from 10 to 5 at Miami Springs Golf and Country Club. It's the ultimate gathering of businesses and health enthusiasts. Join them for a day filled with exciting exhibits, informative health resources, and networking opportunities. Oldies will be on site from 11 to 1. Come say hi.
Learn more and see a full list of events at GreaterSouthFloridaChamber.com.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? I did, until I went to Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in my hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance.
In Florida, the gas stations have generators.
All but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642.
And now, a message from Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com.
This is Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com. We're back. Dog days of summer are upon us. Your AC is struggling, running constant, trying to hold the temperature, maybe even failing late afternoon. Your electric bill is gone up. Well, Radiant Barrier is the cure. Stop the heat gain, lowering the temperatures in the attic up to 40 degrees, cutting the FPL bills up to 40%. Dog days of summer saves 50% on Radiant Barrier and insulation removal, rat proofing. We even do AC ducts in the heat of the summer. Act now and get $500 off Radiant Barrier over 2,000 square feet and $1,000 off over 4,000 square feet, plus a 30% federal tax credit. So call now, 954-939-1500 to save big. Call 954-939-1500 and talk to the owner, Scott. It's 954-939-1500. We'll CutMyKilowatts.com. It's given on the phone. Easier than ordering a pizza.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now, the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. And, of course, Mike Lindell has this incredible offer going on. This is the time to do your Christmas shopping, guys. My wife and I are about done with our Christmas shopping. And most everything are MyPillow products because the prices are so good. And this special that Mike Lindell is offering on the original standard MyPillow that I paid $65 for 10 years ago is just $14.88. That's an incredible deal. Just $14.88 with our promo code Kane, of course, at checkout, Kane. The queen size MyPillow, just $18.88. And the king size, my wife ordered 2 of those. The king size is just $1 more, $19.88. These are the lowest prices ever on the MyPillow. And I know when we give MyPillows to people as Christmas gifts, all they do every time we see them is tell them how much they love the MyPillows. They love them. It's a gift that people will keep for years and years and years. I mean, think about it. What did you get for Christmas last year or the year before? You forget, right? What did you even give people? You barely remember that. But the MyPillows people will remember. Also, free shipping on all orders over $75. When you use our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE at MyPillow.com, you can take advantage of these incredible deals. You can also order by phone, toll-free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. That's 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. All right, so Obama, this is interesting. So Obama was campaigning for Kamala, but did you notice he wasn't with Kamala? Why was that? He did some other things without her too a while back. Now, there's been a lot of speculation that they had an affair. I don't care what people talk about people's sexuality. I don't know, but people have said that they had an affair. And I don't know if that's true or not, maybe not, but him campaigning for Kamala without Kamala there lends credibility that they had an affair, because Michelle doesn't want Willie Brown's girlfriend with Barack. You know, women don't like their husbands socializing with women who have sex with married men as well, you know, right? But there's a lot of speculation. Why is Obama campaigning for Kamala? Why is he doing it? Well, at his speech yesterday, let me play a clip of it, and then he says it.
When it comes to health care.
See, that's it. That's all I'm going to play. I don't want to hear any more of health care. He's afraid of Trump overturning Obamacare. So that's his whole legacy. That's his whole identity. The only thing that he'll point to, other than being the first black president, which is historic, is Obamacare. And he likes that one the best because it's named after him. So he's out there in a desperate effort to save Obamacare because President Trump's going to overturn it. That's what this is all about. No effort to help Kamala Harris. And why isn't he campaigning with her, with his arm around her, right? Which in a normal situation you would do. But for some reason, he can't be with her. So I think the affair story is probably true. Now, another thing that is in the news today is Gretchen Whitmer. And this is huge, huge. It's huge now, and it'll be huge in 4 years. Gretchen Whitmer did something that was 100% blasphemous. Apparently, there's some TikTok trend of mocking Holy Communion from the Catholic Church and feeding a Dorito to someone as if the Dorito is their communion. And you guys know I'm Catholic. That doesn't offend me. I know a lot of people will be offended by it. And the reason it doesn't offend me is because Gretchen Whitmer is as stupid as Kamala. All right? Remember the Fauci pillow? She's as stupid as Kamala. She's too stupid, and she's also insane. You can see it in her eyes. She's a total, and when I say insane, I mean she is certifiably a mad woman. She's nuts. You see it in her eyes. She's got that same look as AOC and Gavin Newsom. She's a lunatic, and she's stupid. And I don't think she understands what it is she's doing when she's mocking Holy Communion. And a lot of you out there that are Protestant or not Christian will think this is crazy, okay, what I'm going to tell you about the offensive nature of this. By the way, 20% of voters in Michigan are Catholic, but this goes, and Trump ahead in Michigan, this will help him even more, but there are Catholics nationwide. The Catholic Church is not a Christian denomination like Baptist or Presbyterian and Lutheran or non-denominational. Non-denominationals become a denomination. The Catholic Church is not a denomination like these other churches, Baptist and all that stuff, Methodist. It's just the church, the Christian church. But if the Catholic Church were a denomination, it would be the largest denomination in the United States. There's that many Catholics, okay? And this is the part that people that are Protestant think is crazy, and people that aren't Christian, they think all Christianity is crazy. But Gretchen Whitmer mocking communion with the Dorito. When you're Catholic, when you go to church, when you go to a Catholic church, it's Mass. The whole Mass is about communion. The whole Mass is about communion, okay? And when you take Holy Communion, it is not wine and a cracker. It's not grape juice and a wafer, okay? It is the body and the blood of Christ. And it actually, the wine, some places use juice. They really should use wine, and Catholic churches that use wine with a high alcohol content. It's supposed to kill all the germs and viruses in the communion cup. But when you go to Catholic Mass, the wine and the wafer are transformed into the body and blood of Christ. And Catholics believe, and I'm Catholic and I believe this too, that you are actually taking the body and blood of Christ into you. It's a big deal. In fact, it's a big deal on how it is handled in the church. Okay? There's all kinds of very strict guidelines on how it is all handled. And it's the body. Now, not all Catholics believe this, okay? But Holy Communion is not symbolic. Protestant churches take communion sometimes. Sometimes they do it once a year. Some of them do it every service. It's symbolic in the Protestant churches. In the Catholic Church, it is actually the body and blood of Christ. It is transformed into it. And if you don't believe that, well, you're either not Catholic or you're what they call, there's a phrase called cafeteria Catholics. And a cafeteria Catholic is they pick and choose from the buffet of Catholicism what they want to believe, right? So making fun of Holy Communion is a big deal to a lot of people, more than you realize. Now, a lot of Catholics don't talk about what I'm sharing with you because, people that aren't Catholic, even Christians that aren't Catholic, thinks that it's completely nuts, okay? But that's the way it is. So what Gretchen Whitmer did is very, very offensive. Now, in the short term, it's not going to matter so much right now, okay? Might help a little bit, Trump, I don't know. It's not going to matter much now. We're 3 weeks away, so who's not decided? Everyone knows what they're going to do right now, no matter what they tell you. The undecided people are typically narcissists at this point who just want you to beg them for their support. But Gretchen Whitmer is planning on running for president in 4 years in the Democrat primary, her and Newsom and who knows who else. And this stunt she pulled is going to come back in 4 years and hopefully save us from this lunatic because she is a crazed woman. She is certifiably insane, Gretchen Whitmer. And this is one of those things that a politician does, and it comes back long after. Now, apparently this is some TikTok trend or something, so she's always trying to be a hipster. Gretchen Whitmer is a dork. She's a nerdy girl who wears a lot of makeup and thinks she's cool now, the cool kid. But when she was growing up in high school, I'm sure she was, one of the dork clique people. So she's always trying to be hip and on cutting edge of everything like this. This will destroy her in the end, but make no mistake about it. In this election, it'll have some impact because, people will be pretty offended by it, and they should be offended by it, and I hope people talk about it quite a bit. Now, here in Florida, we just got hit by this very bad hurricane, and if you have had roof damage, no matter where you are in the state of Florida, call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting and Roofing. I know a lot of you called him yesterday. He's a good MAGA guy. I'm going to give you his cell phone number. Give him a call. Make sure you tell him that I told you to call him because our listeners get put to the front of the line. His cell phone number is 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. His response time, Tom Laporta responds fast, as those of you who called him yesterday have found out, right? Again, here's Tom Laporta's cell phone number, 954-604-4602, no matter what kind of structure you have. Residential, commercial, municipal, whatever it is, and no matter how large the community is as well, if it's condos. 954-604-4602. We'll be right back.
SFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WIRK 103.1 HD3 Indiantown, and Heard in Broward on 96.9 FM, 5.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group.
If you're on hold, hang in there, guys.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
There's still about over 17,000 people without power in Palm Beach County. This traffic report comes by Trish Insurance. And polls are still suspended until Monday. There is a road closure date because of a collision at Southern Boulevard in the eastbound of the North Road. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations. Next traffic, I'm Christy.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Listen to the PBKC Picks Live podcast every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. It's showtime at PBKC. Get your tickets today for Paddock dinner shows, including the Pure Zeppelin Experience this Friday night, October 11th, plus Let It Be November 8th, and Petty Mix November 22nd. And don't miss comedian Jimmy Fallon for 2 shows, November 15th and 16th. The Paddock is also your best bet for OTB action and football Sundays. More info, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Hi, it's Brian Craig. Let me ask you this. Are you planning on retiring in the next 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, at any point in your life? Or are you already retired? Listen, economically, it's a mess. With the stock market ups and downs and inflation out of control. In fact, it's the highest inflation rate in 40 years. You need a plan of action for your retirement plans. You need the advice of a retirement expert who can help you protect your money, guarantee your income, and stop losing money. Joe Thomas is president of Retirement Network Advisors, South Florida's premier retirement experts, and has been for over 20 years. He's seen it all and is a true professional that you can trust. They're family-owned and operated. His daughter Jenny works with him. You know Joe and Jenny from right here on True Oldies.
If you're on hold, hang in there, guys. I know I've been blabbering a lot, but I have a lot going on to talk about.
Mention my name, Brian Craig, and receive a free copy of his ebook. Go to jupiterjoe.com or call 561-743-0999. That's 561-743-0999. Take advantage of his free phone consultation, too. Go to jupiterjoe.com or call 561-743-0999.
Your electric bill is gone, even double. Radiant barrier is the cure. Stop the heat gain. Lowering the temperatures in the attic up to 40 degrees. Cutting the FPL bills up to 40%. Dog days of summer sales. 50% on radiant barrier and insulation. Insulation removal, wrap proofing. We even do AC ducts in the heat of the summer. Act now and get $500 off radiant barrier over 2,000 square feet and $1,000 off over 4,000 square feet. Plus a 30% federal tax credit. So call now 954-939-1500 to save big. Call 954-939-1500 and talk to the owner Scott. That's 954-939-1500 or cutmykilowatts.com. Estimates given on the phone, work done in days, not weeks. Easier than ordering a pizza.
When you need lab work? Don't waste hours and hours waiting at the doctor's office or one of those big labs. Go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest you'll find anywhere. No appointment, doctor's order, or prescription is needed, and you're in and out in 15 minutes or less. They offer every lab and blood work your doctor can order. They even have drug testing and STD testing. Take control of your health care and visit Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. There's lots of Any Lab Test Nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. And make sure you tell them.
All right, here we go.
On the radio.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian, it's the Steve Kane Show. Hour number 2 has begun. It's Friday, October 11th, and our phones are back working today. The electricity was out yesterday at the phone company, so our phones weren't working, but we did a show without phones. That was fine. Some shows are done every day without phones for years. Not because their phones are out of order or the power's down. It's just nobody bothers to call or probably even listen. Just one quick mention, and I don't want to get. I'll do this quick because if I start talking about this too long, I'll go. I just was reading an article during the break. Disney has announced a new stormtrooper that is transgender, a transgender stormtrooper in the Star Wars universe that goes by the name Sister. And then they have a description of this is a stormtrooper talking about the transgender stormtrooper. When one of our this is from one of the comics, the Star Wars comics. When one of our kind expressed her gender identity differently than her fellow stormtroopers, she figured she'd have to hide who she truly was inside. Fortunately, her brothers, that's the stormtroopers, gave her the name Sister as a constant reminder that she belonged. The stormtroopers are accepting of a transgender stormtrooper. In the world of Star Wars, which is a big part of my life, I saw Star Wars in the theater in its original theatrical run in 1977. The evil empire are Nazis. They're the Nazis. They are supposed to be Nazis. That's why if you look at their uniforms, the uniforms are Nazi uniforms. Okay? And the stormtroopers that Hitler had, so now the evil empire are tolerant and accepting of trans people? I don't know what's going on there, but it's pretty freaky. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug.
Hey, man. I'll just get right to the point. President Trump, I think, would win all 50 states with the highest amount of votes ever if it wasn't for putting that poison out all the time. I talked to two of them. I walked out. I got people working in my house. So and one guy comes over and says, why would you, I might make America great hat on, why would you want to support President Trump? He hasn't done anything. What are you talking about? Well, he had COVID for 3 months into his presidency. That's all he was doing.
3 months?
Yes, I said, there was no go. All I saw was I looked at it. So I stopped what I was doing. I set it up and showed him. There it is. About 2 years later, which makes him really the great.
3.
In that 2 years, he accomplished so much. He did so much for you. What's wrong with you people? Oh, no. But then all he does is say nasty things about people. He doesn't never say...
Well, these two... I'll let you finish with your... By the way, you're paying this guy? I mean, my God, this is who you hire to do work on your house? I hope whatever he's... What's he working on? What kind of work is he doing at your house?
There's lots of things we're doing. We're doing the driveway. We're doing the painting.
Oh my goodness! I don't know. This guy, is he smart enough to handle the driveway? I don't know if I would trust a guy who's so stupid to do work inside my house.
I told him, if I would have known you were liberal, I never would have hired you, man.
Really?
But anyway, this guy, they get this brainwash from the fake news. And it's really upsetting that there's that many people that are around.
Well, you're in Broward County. The thing about these rallies today. Trump has 2 rallies: Aurora, Colorado, and Reno, Nevada. Okay, these are both blue states, right? Nevada is the one battleground state that he's not leading. Trump is leading in the polls in 6 of the 7 battleground states. By the way, that includes Michigan and Wisconsin. He is not leading in Nevada yet. He's going to be in Reno talking about no taxes on tips and being able to deduct your car financing interest on your income tax, which is huge. In Colorado, he's in Aurora today. I'm sure he's going to be talking about Kamala's Venezuelan prison gangs that are terrorizing Aurora. So believe me, these people are waking up. And so far as your friend, who cares what he thinks? He's in Florida. We're going Republican. Who he supports doesn't matter. We're going Republican in Florida.
That's for sure. He's not my friend. I just find it.
Well, okay, he's the help. The help. All right, appreciate the call, Doug. The help. That's the guy that his wife was saying was incompetent during that mysterious phone call the other day. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning.
Oh, hey, Richie.
Before I start, I want everyone to know I come from a middle-income family.
Oh, there you go.
My mother and father worked very hard to buy their first condominium in Florida. This is the same. This is a total scatterbrain, man.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like this in my life. I mean, she always goes back to the talking points. She can't answer a question straight up, quick. It's like gotta hear a whole story for a 2-second answer.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say something about the hurricane, by the way. I almost got killed in this thing. And it was my fault. Sometimes you try to outsmart yourself. Here I am saying I have a company, so I said to my wife and my friend from childhood, let's go to a Chinese buffet in Palm Bay, Florida. Well, they were closed because that was north. You were outside the cone. Port St. Lucie was supposed to be outside the cone also. And we got on the turnpike because there were no tolls. And at 12:30 in the afternoon, we drove up there. And we eat the Chinese buffet, Brian. When I come out of the Chinese buffet, the rain started, we get in the car. I get on the US 1 by Port St. Lucie Boulevard to go to the turnpike, and all of a sudden, our 3 phones started blasting like the Amber Alerts.
Uh-huh.
Seek shelter, tornado.
Oh, my goodness.
It's coming. Sky. I'm looking, the sky was black. I never seen anything quite like this, and I had nowhere to go. And then I get on the turnpike at Port St. Lucie Boulevard going north, and Brian, the lightning and the sun, I've never driven, in all the years of driving a bus, I never went through this. The rain was blowing sideways like you couldn't see it. I couldn't see in front of me. I mean, I've been in heavy thunderstorms, not like this. And my traction on my car was lighting up because I was hydroplaning.
I don't know why when you're getting you've got this rain going, you can't see the tornado alert. Why'd you get on the turnpike? You out of your mind?
I was on it, I was on it, had nowhere to go. So I'm driving blindly, literally blindly into it. It was like you might as well be driving at nighttime. And
did you turn your hazard lights on? To blink?
That's against the law.
I know, but yeah, I still do it when I'm in a rain like that. I know you're not supposed to; it's against the law, but I would have done it.
Brian, it was devastating. And that Spanish Lakes, I went right by where all those people died.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't even know exactly where they are. I'm not familiar with Port St. Lucie. I don't even know where that Chinese buffet was. I mean, it was terrible. People out there, you just don't know how bad we got it. And Brian, you spent all that money on those windows, those
yep,
which is a lot of money. There was a house in Wellington, I believe it was. The lady had put a wall into like you, and the whole house was demolished. If a tornado hits your house,
yeah, but did the glass break on the hurricane windows? No, exactly. They were still shattered. They were still intact. The windows were still intact. That's right.
Yeah,
the reason there's really there's 2 reasons you get hurricane windows. Okay, it does an incredible job increasing the value of your home. That's one. Okay, And the reason I have them, and even though I put shutters over all of them, except my back doors, I have French doors and the hurricane doors and the hurricane glass, I don't like being in the hurricane and not being able to see out. And it's nice to be able to see out during the storm so you can see what's going on. Because when you're getting hit by a hurricane, it sounds like a freight train coming by your house right outside your window for however long the storm's there. It's terrible. And I like to be able to see out. That's why I got the windows.
There's another advantage. My cousin, who you met, the pilot, he lives up in Ormond Beach next to Daytona. Last hurricane that we got up there, I called up and his wife said he was holding the windows frames.
Yeah.
And they were putting towels all around the windows because it's blowing into their house.
That's right.
More put up because a regular window is only caulked.
That's true. That's true.
The way they put your windows in, almost a bullet wouldn't go through it. It would shatter it.
But yeah, no, the window, the hurricane windows will crack on a hard impact, but they don't break, right? Yeah. But another thing I do for the hurricanes, all these people with sandbags, I have a whole bunch of sandbags that I got them on Amazon. They're completely flat. You put them out, and then when they get wet, they expand. They blow up. They got some kind of gel in them. Yeah, and I've used those for years, and I load up on them. I've got so many in my garage. I'm not in a flood zone, but there's one part of my yard where it does flood if there's a hurricane. So yeah, they're amazing. You can get them on Amazon.
That water on the turnpike,
and they're cheap.
That water on the turnpike was at least a half a foot.
You're lucky to be alive.
I know that. My friend said, "Are you crazy?" I said, "I didn't think we."
But I got to tell you, Richie. I was talking about this yesterday, but the phones were out due to the electricity to the phone company, so we didn't have phones. Yeah, I know. So yesterday the phones were busier than you could imagine. I looked at the call log. I mean, there were hundreds of calls yesterday, but I couldn't take them. The thing about this one, this is the first hurricane that I'm not saying this has never happened before, but in my recollection, this is the first time there's been so much death and destruction from a hurricane in areas that are not in the hurricane cone. Yeah.
Yeah, like 117 tornado. They were talking about 117 tornado calls. I mean, it was all over.
And I got to tell you, the TV meteorologist Steve Weigel, he was the one I was talking and not mentioning his name a couple days ago. I said there's this one meteorologist. I like them. I watch them all the time. He said that Palm Beach and Broward were not in the cone, but we could get some really bad wind. And I didn't say his name because I love Steve Weigel. And I'm like, this is nuts. Steve Weigel was right. Steve Weigel was, the most right-on television meteorologist. I never have seen what we saw outside the cone.
Tornadoes here are ones. The first one that they got in right now that they determined was a 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
First one. It was like out in the Midwest. Unbelievable.
Fox News is reporting down the street. There's a truck down the street from the radio station here in Palm Beach Gardens that's on its side. So Fox News has been doing reports live in front of this truck. Because it's on its side. I mean, that was a tornado well outside of the cone. All right, Richie, I'm glad you survived. By the way, if you would have died on the road, would have anybody called to tell me you were dead? Or what? Or would I just not heard from you on the phone?
But they would have told you. They would have told you one thing. I come from a middle class family.
No, I'm serious. So what would have happened? So if you would have died, unless I saw your name in the paper. Because I know Richie's full name. How would I have known you were dead?
I'm gonna have to leave. I'm gonna have to tell my wife to make sure she calls.
Attorney Barry Siegel. When you guys call Attorney Barry Siegel and get your revocable living trust done, you got to put a little thing in there. Call Brian Craig and let him know I've passed. All right, Richie, take care. I'm serious. There's a lot of callers over the years that you just don't hear from anymore. And I just assume they are dead. The Black Phantom was the greatest caller in the history of radio. You guys, any of you remember the Black Phantom, the black racist? He was the best, and he never used foul language. Hated white people like, these jokers like Renee and everything. They love white people compared to the Black Phantom. he died. He had to. Who was that weirdo that used to stalk Steve and I, that thought he was in the Guardian Angels and used to wear the Guardian Angel outfit to all of our, with the red beret to all of our appearances? Ron. You guys remember Ron? I just assume he's dead. I haven't heard from him. He used to show up at the radio station all the time, even though I said you're not welcome here. And we'd go to Wings Plus, and he'd come in his Guardian Angel outfit and try to teach us Kung Fu. There's a lot of other ones, you know. All right, listen, if you're on hold, hang in there. We'll be right back.
Don't sit up. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hey, it's Shannon on the radio with a quick reminder that if you like music by the Stones, the Beatles, the Beach Boys, the Four Seasons, and all those big hits of Motown,
Scratching my back on the door jam.
10 a.m., it's all back on the air right here on South Florida's True Oldies Channel.
Hey there, it's Brian Craig. You've heard me tell you about how Dr. Appleton has rid me of pain with his laser away pain treatment. Shoulder injuries, arthritis, knee pain, all gone, and more. But don't just take my word for it. Monica called me live on the radio to tell me how Dr. Appleton rid her of pain.
Brian, my name is Monica. I'm from Boca. I'm calling because several weeks ago I had a lot of pain on my knees, and I went to see Dr. Appleton. He relieved me from my knee pains. I can walk. And this week, I went to see him. I had excruciating pain on my hand, and I had a treatment. And I just want to say out there to everyone, it works. It really works. I am pain-free from my hand. He's amazing. Friendly staff. He's wonderful. And I highly recommend him. And I thank you so much for the recommendation. I'm very grateful.
Call Dr. Appleton right now and say bye-bye to your pain, too. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Online, AppletonCairo.com.
Talk about amazing kielbasa. Crocus Deli in North Lauderdale is a must if you love Polish food. They have a variety of Polish sausage, bacons, Polish cheeses, ham and pork loins, even Polish hot dogs. Crocus Deli has such amazing homemade foods like goulash, pork and bacon, homemade soups, and more. You have to check out Crocus Deli. The bakery is out of this world. Stop by for delicious Polish food. CrocusDeliFL.com for directions or call 954-722-8006.
Have you put off buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire in Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Brian Craig here. If you're a homeowner, business owner, or with a homeowners association and your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. With a AAA credit rating and bonded up to $10 million, Laporta Contracting doesn't need a large deposit like those other contractors do. Typical deposits other contractors want are 1/3 of the contract. If your job is $30,000, that's a $10,000 deposit. If your job is $300,000, that's $100,000. What are they doing with your money? Typically, it takes 3 to 4 weeks to get a permit, and HOAs, much longer. If they need money for the materials, they don't have credit with the suppliers, and that spells bad news for the homeowner or HOA. Tom Laporta is honest, knowledgeable, and reliable, and he'll never sell you a roof you don't need. Laporta Contracting has been in the roofing and contracting business since 1988, and his services cover the east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. Tom Laporta can handle any type of roofing job too: residential roofing and repair, commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing, Tom Laporta can do it. Call Tom Laporta right now on his cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaContracting.com.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on
All right, 24 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian, Steve Kane Show. Colson will stand by. Now, remember, Tom Laporta, no matter where you are in the state of Florida, he can help you with your roof repairs or replacement. Give him a call. And I know those of you that called him yesterday, fast response time. He's almost a first responder in his response time, isn't he? Tom Laporta's cell phone, 954-604-4602, 954-604-4602. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning,
Brian. Yes.
Broker.
Yes, Chris.
I want to get off the subject for a minute. I know it's Friday.
It's open phones.
I want to wish all our Jewish brethren a Happy New Year, 5785. That's from Shabbos Goy. I just mentioned that. Okay?
Yes. Okay, that's it. You just wanted to wish a happy holiday to the Jews. That's fine. It's open phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Montana, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
You know, my dad was a Filipino immigrant born in 1908, and at the age of 18, and his parents were dead by when he's 15, he went to Hawaii to work in sugarcane fields. And I can never do what my father has done. And it makes me so angry and frustrated how, the people just talk about what's happening with these immigrants. It's so unfair.
Well, your dad came, he worked. He didn't come over here and get in Section 8 housing and get an EBT card?
Nope.
No. Oh.
Back in the 1900s in the sugarcane fields, his pay raise was $2.75 working from sun up to sundown.
That sounds like one of those Sean Hannity stories, Montana Mark, about how hard he was working all day. But, no, there's a big difference, yeah. Your dad had to work, and if he didn't work, he didn't eat. No EBT for dad.
And my dad, growing up in the 1900s without his parents at 15, I could have never done what he did.
Well, you say the 1900s, you and I grew up in the 1900s, 19-something. It's kind of weird to hear somebody. I've not heard the 20th century referred to as the 1900s.
I was born in 1956.
Mm-hmm.
My father came from having nothing.
Yeah. What's going on? Why is your dad on your mind so much today? Because of all these illegals coming over here, sucking our country dry?
Yeah. My dad had to scratch and struggle through having nothing. And these immigrants, they get handed thousands of dollars for just coming across.
Mm-hmm. That's true. All right, hey, listen, I appreciate the call. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah.
You're on the air. Oh, they put the phone down next. Once, twice. All right, 3 times. Yeah, oh, you just made it. You're on the air.
Hey, it's Frenchie.
Frenchie, turn down the volume of whatever device you're listening to me on.
I'm listening to you on my computer.
Oh, turn the volume down on the computer.
I play the computer and watch TV and listen to you.
Okay, good. What's on your mind?
Up here in Stewart, there's a town, Port Salerno. You ever hear of it?
Yeah, that's where my father-in-law lives there.
Oh, well, they got whacked pretty hard with tornadoes. I took a bunch of pictures yesterday. It's nothing like I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm going there this weekend. My daughter and I are going up there so she can see her grandparents for lunch Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, it danced around in that section called Rocky Point.
Mm-hmm.
And I went down there yesterday, and that whole section's without power, and the power lines are all twisted and ripped around, and trees everywhere. And
that area, Stewart, Florida, in Martin County, right, where they got the assassin in Martin County, that is like one of the last old Florida towns. It really is. I mean, yeah.
Great fishing town.
Oh, it's a great town. I love it. It's a great town. And it's the most MAGA community there is. That whole Martin County. I call Martin County MAGA Martin County. I know not everybody there is conservative, but it is the most. It's a place where you can go out to dinner with your MAGA hat on, and you don't have to worry about them, doing something with your food.
Yeah, I moved here 20 years ago after Francis and Jean. I never left.
Oh no, it's great. It's awesome. It's a great old Florida town. I don't know, but that one bridge though over the waterway they say is so dangerous. I don't know if I'd want to drive over it.
Yeah, they shut that down during the storm.
During the storm, but you can still drive on the dangerous bridge that they say needs to be replaced, and it's a high bridge. I mean, forget it.
Yeah, it's on US 1. Goes into St. Lucie.
See, this thing about the Bright Line. See, this is what I'm wondering. There's a big controversy about the Bright Line stop in Stewart, and I'm wondering, is the local government opposing the Bright Line because they want to get paid off, like a lot of public officials, or are they afraid that, it's going to destroy that great town of Stewart and turn it into like Miami or Fort Lauderdale? That's what I'm wondering.
Well, there's not a lot of places they can put a stop. They can't do it downtown Stewart. There's no room there.
Yeah.
I don't know where they would.
If they would, I would find myself in Stewart a lot more if they had the Bright Line stop there. I wish they would put it there. It's a bit of a drive. It's about an hour and 15 minutes from my house.
About 40 minutes to get to West Palm Airport from here.
Yeah. All right, listen, I appreciate the call. Glad you made it through the storm. I'll be up there in Stewart this weekend. I love Stewart. All right, we will take our break for the bottom of the hour and be right back.
Making morning radio great again. Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the All-Year Cooling Weather Center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Important in this case. You know the history of this. Back to Justice Moulton's point about line drawing, because I do think that is very important in this case. You know the history of this statute. It's passed under then AG Javits, and then was really amplified by AG Lefkowitz over the years. And when I went back and read the bill jackets, the common thread was always we need greater power. The AG needs greater powers as the people's lawyer to protect consumers, civil rights, and the environment. And so again, with that sort of historical backdrop to this law, how do we draw a line, or at least put up some guardrails to know when the AG is operating well within her admittedly broad sphere?
There's a crash on I-95 southbound at Glades Road that's blocking the left lane, and a wreck at Southern Boulevard has it closed heading eastbound at the North Farms Road. Every 3 seconds, there's a new victim of identity theft in the U.S. This Cybersecurity Awareness Month, get LifeLock for comprehensive identity theft protection. LifeLock alerts you to suspicious activity of your personal information. Start your 30-day free trial at lifelock.com/cybersafety. That's traffic. I'm Beverly Bentley Steele.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. The poker room at PBKC is open every day with 65 tables of action, including cash games, high hands, Mega Bad Beat jackpots, and exciting tournaments. Bet small and win big with table games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em or 3-card poker with a $5 minimum 7 days a week. PBKC is also your best bet for exciting OTB action from Keeneland, Laurel, Santa Anita, and more. For more info, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Are you feeling safe and secure in your home? Unfortunately, millions of Americans are vulnerable to break-ins every year. But what if you could have peace of mind knowing that your home is protected 24/7? At Sloman's, we understand the importance of home security. That's why we're offering a free home security system with free professional installation. When you use our low-cost central station monitoring, our top-of-the-line systems are designed to detect intruders and alert authorities and give you real-time updates right to your smartphone. And with our state-of-the-art monitoring center, you'll have 24/7 protection from any threat. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your home and family and your valuables with Sloan's comprehensive home security solutions. Call 1-833-283-5050 today to schedule your free installation and start sleeping better. Tonight, Sloan's protecting what matters most. Call 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050 now. At Sloan's, we understand the importance of home security.
Cruise is coming up, and you're all invited. This time, we're sailing for 7 nights on Celebrity Cruise Line's newest ship, the Ascent to Puerto Plata, St. Thomas, and St. Martin. We set sail March 30th. We have private shores.
These people. I just can't believe the message I just got from somebody. Just a big effing a-hole. I just got like one of the nastiest messages I've ever gotten from somebody. One of the nastiest messages I've ever gotten from somebody I just got now on a DM. I mean, nasty.
Hey, my true oldies listeners, John Tesh here with some intelligence for your retirement this time. Are you looking for a retirement?
And I get some nasty messages. For me to say that,
big qualities to look for. And as it turns out, my friend Jupiter Joe Thomas possesses both of these. Whether you're in retirement or looking to retire, I want you to give local expert Joe Thomas a call. Here's the number, 561-743-0999. Or, even simpler, you can go to jupiterjoe.com. Mention my name, John Tesh. You'll receive a free copy of Joe's book, Retirement Know-It-All. Great book. Call 561-743-0999. Or remember, go to jupiterjoe.com. That's jupiterjoe.com.
Medicare recipients, listen up. Open enrollment is the only time of year you can make changes to your existing Medicare plan. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors, no matter where you're located in the state of Florida, for expert help this open enrollment period. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. That's 954-753-8080.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? I did, until I went to Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in my hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching have all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754
it's just amazing to me, the stuff that people say. It blows me away.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian.
All right, we're back. I got to recap what I led the show with, and which I will do in a few minutes, because Kamala Harris was just devastated yesterday in the Univision town hall. But first, I want to share this. This will make the rounds of the news today. This is big. It looks like the appellate court in New York, they're about to overturn these disgusting judgments against our favorite president, Donald Trump. You know, this thing, how much did they say Mar-a-Lago was worth? $13 million or something? You know, I mean, I was talking yesterday, Brett Baer, who was talking about the hurricanes hitting Florida. He lives in Palm Beach. Brett Baer's house cost $35 million, and it's tiny compared to Mar-a-Lago. You know, tiny. The bathrooms at Mar-a-Lago cost more than $13 million. Okay? And it's just these decisions are insane. But anyway, it looks like the appellate court is about to overturn these decisions. There's an audio sound, but I'm going to play this for you now. You know how these appellate court works? They work like the Supreme Court. They have the attorneys there, and then they start just asking questions. And this is the appellate judge talking. This is amazing. I know it seems a little heavy, but I don't care. But you'll hear it at the end.
To Justice Moulton's point about line drawing, because I do think that is very important in this case.
Line drawing. This is the whole thing. Line drawing.
To Justice Moulton's point about line drawing, because I do think that is very important in this case. You know the history of this statute. It's passed under then AG Javits, and then was really amplified by AG Lefkowitz over the years. And when I went back and read the bill jackets, the common thread was always we need greater power. The AG needs greater powers as the people's lawyer to protect consumers, civil rights, and the environment. And so again, with that sort of historical backdrop to this law, how do we draw a line or at least put up some guardrails to know when the AG is operating.
See, the AG, that's Letitia James. Guardrails for the AG, that's Letitia James, the appellate judge is talking about.
How do we draw a line, or at least put up some guardrails to know when the AG is operating well within her admittedly broad sphere of 6312, and when she is going into an area that wasn't intended for her jurisdiction?
Wow, so the whole discussion is about guardrails for Letitia James because she's a political lawfare, and that's a beautiful thing. So I want to recap what I started with today because it's very important. The hurricane, yesterday I was here live, and I know a lot of you were probably busy the day after the hurricane, so you might have missed some of this stuff. So I want to recap a little bit on the polls and then the new stuff from today. New polls came out. Real Clear Politics, which is one of the most accurate places to go to for the polls, because with Real Clear Politics, they don't do their own poll. They take all the polls that are done and put them together, and then they give you the average. That's whenever you hear about the Real Clear Politics average. So they take all the polls, put them together, and give you the Real Clear Politics average. And earlier this week, the Real Clear Politics Electoral College prediction was Trump over Kamala for the first time. And then yesterday, they had the Real Clear Politics average out of Michigan gave Michigan to Trump. That's amazing. And then Polymarket gave Wisconsin to Trump. So now here we are sitting in a situation where there's 7 battleground states. Trump is leading in 6 of the 7 battleground states. The only one he's not leading in is Nevada. She's a couple points ahead of Nevada. Trump has a rally in Nevada this evening, so that should be very, very good. Now, this is amazing because remember, the battlegrounds are where it's decided. The rest of the country is mostly already has their mind made up. Although some of these blue states, I think, will go for Trump and will be red. And I'm hoping we get some on the East Coast so we get some good news early in the evening. Trump said he's making a play for New York and New Jersey. He said this 2 days ago. Okay, so yeah, this is amazing. So Trump is ahead in 6 of the 7 battleground states. That's huge. And then Kamala did a town hall on Univision. I played these clips in the first hour, but I want to share them with you now because these are so important. You know what? I'm going to do something I rarely do. I took the last break late, so we're kind of backed up on the breaks. I'm going to take this break on time so that in the next segment I can play these 3 sound bites from the Univision town hall with Kamala without interrupting, okay? Because if I start now, we're going to be late again, and when we get behind on the breaks like that, it's like a traffic jam on I-95 like I was listening to with it's like an accident, and it backs up the traffic, and then it's boom, 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 boom. So I'm going to take this break on time. Now, I want to tell you guys this, that if you or someone you know is suffering from neuropathy, you want to call Lighthouse Medical. We've been telling you now for a couple of years that Lighthouse Medical in Pompano have a treatment for neuropathy that works, that will rid you of all those very painful signs and symptoms of neuropathy. But what we stumbled across a few weeks ago is Steve had his treatment over 2 years ago from Lighthouse Medical. Over 2 years later, his neuropathy symptoms have not returned. So not only does Lighthouse Medical's treatment rid you of your neuropathy symptoms, it lasts. Give them a call. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio so you can take advantage of their no-charge consultation. And remember, Lighthouse Medical can help you no matter where you're located in the United States. Their number is 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. We'll be right back.
Hard.
All right, and it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing all right. You fare well during the hurricane?
Yeah, we did fine, but of course our thoughts and prayers are with the people whether people who suffered from the hurricane itself or from the tornadoes. Just hope everyone's safe and, they get their back, and anybody who needs to be rescued happens quickly. And really, again, this hurricane, it's just another reminder of needing to be prepared, because we never know what's going to happen. Thankfully, with the hurricanes nowadays, of course, we have advance notice, but sometimes we don't have advance notice of things that may happen in our life. And, just like a few years ago when we had COVID, and then, when we get hurricanes, it's interesting. We tend to get a surge of people calling to get their estate planning done or updated, because it's just a reminder that things can happen. We're not invincible. Life happens, sometimes unexpected things, and we need to be prepared. And so a lot of people get that message, and I just want to put that message out there to be prepared, because it's not just about you yourself, it's about the people you love, your family, your spouse, your kids, whoever you want to take care of, and not leaving a mess behind. So it's important to be prepared for all.
Absolutely. I got a call a little while ago from one of our listeners. He was driving through Port St. Lucie where during that tornado that killed all those people in Port St. Lucie the other day, he said he almost died. And I asked him, well, how would I have known that you were gone? And I suggested, when people have the revocable living trust put together, I told him with Attorney Barry Siegel, can they put a little addition that when they pass, the Steve Kane Show will be notified? Because some of these chronic callers, I just wouldn't hear from them again, Barry. That's an unusual request. That would be a new. I know, it would be a new one. But listen, things are this hurricane. What was so unpredictable about it is there was so much destruction and death outside of the hurricane cone area, which I've never seen before. I've lived in Florida pretty much my whole life. I've never seen anything like this. Life is unpredictable, and you want to be prepared. And remember, if you mention that you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the radio, it is always a no-charge consultation with the Siegel Law Group. So make sure you mention that when you call. And no matter where you are in the state of Florida, the Siegel Law Group can help you. Okay, here's the number: 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782, and online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, have a great weekend. We'll talk next week. Okay, we are back, and remember, today is Open Phones. It's Friday, Open MAGA Mike Friday. Any and everything on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. You're not limited to the topics we bring up. Our number, 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Rabbi David.
Hey, Rabbi. Good.
So I really stay away from arguing with liberals because there's nothing to come of it. But my wife said, you got to speak to a friend of hers, somebody she knows. She's very open to hearing about Trump. So I went ahead and pitched all the things about Trump. And I have to share with you, she said, when it came to the abortion topic, she thought she got me. She said to me, David, what if your daughter was raped by a black man?
Oh, my gosh.
So I said...
Oh, I love that.
Does it have to be...
Great.
Why does it have to be a black man?
Exactly.
Her answer was... Listen to the answer. Her answer was, well, I wanted to give you the worst case situation.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my goodness.
Liberal. This is a liberal. I said, well, what? I said, why would that be the worst case situation? I said, what if it's a choice between being raped by Sidney Poitier or Ted Bundy?
Exactly. Oh, my goodness.
Unbelievable.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, that's the mindset. She didn't get it. She like, in her mind, it was just, that was the...
Did she say it like dramatically? What if your daughter was raped by a black man? Did she say it with dramatic emphasis?
For sure, she was really influenced me. Because then I would say, oh, you're right.
That's a Democrat.
I agree with you. Abortion is good then. I agree with you.
By the way, is this racist lady a Jew?
Yeah.
Is she aware that the Democrat Party have joined up with Hamas?
Yeah. No, her whole Mahjong group said that.
Oh my goodness.
Believe. By the way, good enough that her husband, who's a business owner, is totally for Trump. And he background laughing.
Oh my goodness.
This was, but that's what we're dealing with. And then of course she brought up 2025 and.
Oh yes. She watches Rachel Maddow, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was just, but I had to. The worst case, I couldn't.
The worst case. Oh my goodness.
That would be the worst. And my answer to her was, my daughter's a religious girl. I actually said, my daughter would have the child. Okay, that's what my answer was. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
By the way, I also said, by the way, Trump kind of goes a little against the Republican Party when he incest in the health of the mother.
That's right.
These people just have by the way, I think Kamala Harris is not misinformation; she's misinformation.
That's a good one.
That's what they are. She's misinformation, and that's what they're.
Well, but I got to tell you, I'm really disappointed to hear that because not just because there's a racist in town, that's bad enough, but I mean, you see what the Democrat reaction has been to the horrific October 7th attack on Israel last year, and it's hard for me to believe that a Jew would be voting Democrat when the Democrats have clearly aligned themselves with Hamas very openly.
I said to her that, but anybody that votes for these liberals, they're really promoting something that I considered worse than the Holocaust. Okay, the Nazis even had certain limits, but these people that did the atrocities on October 7th, and we don't have to repeat them on the radio right now because it's too.
Yeah.
Okay, even the Nazis, not that I'm supporting Nazis, but even the Nazis did things in a different manner. Okay.
Well, I'm not going to agree with Rabbi David on that, but I will say that the Nazis. Well, I'll say this. Okay, maybe you'll agree with this. The Nazis tried to hide from the world what they were doing to the Jews for as long as they could. Okay, so even though they were trying to exterminate you guys, they knew it was bad and they were trying to hide it. These people today do it like on TikTok.
Right. No, brilliant. You're right. They hear the people were videotaping while they were doing the
Exactly. All right, Rabbi, that's a great story. I love it. Take care, Rabbi. Oh my goodness. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Barry from Dallas.
Hey, Barry.
Larry
from Dallas. Okay, Larry. Hey, Larry.
Hey, how you doing?
All right.
Quick question. I've only seen it on one news station where on the assassination attempt, there's been no linkage between cleaning up the area and the fact that the guy that was considered the shooter was in fact a patsy. I don't understand that.
Well, when you say in fact a patsy, this is what we know. Okay, we know a lot. I'll just go over a couple things. Okay, a man in a suit claiming to be a federal agent who showed no identification went on the roof, took a photograph of the body of the shooter, the Butler shooter, and told the FBI agents and Secret Service guys there, I have to send this photo off for proof of death. We don't know who he had to prove he was dead to. We know that he was in that Black Rock video, the shooter. And we also know that the attempted assassin here in Florida at the golf course was in another Black Rock video. So we got a connection between the two, which is a very unusual, being in these commercials for this Republican establishment company. And we also know in Butler that it's not that they cleaned the crime scene, they destroyed the crime scene. And the body was disposed of. I think, if I remember, did they not cremate this shooter in Butler? Was he not cremated?
Linkage with DNA.
Yeah, I mean, and they destroyed the crime scene with a hose. I saw pictures of it. It's disgusting. But when Trump, listen, we're 3 weeks away from President Trump being President-elect President Trump. And when President Trump is the sitting president again, we'll get to the bottom of Butler and the golf course, believe me.
The issue is nobody's reporting on it.
Well, no, I disagree. Well, the mainstream aren't. I mean, a lot of people like me are looking into it. I did an investigation on the shooting here with all the information I have, and I mean, there's no. You're right. The mainstream media are ignoring all of these things. That's correct. Yes.
And it's pretty gross.
I've never seen anything like this. I mean, I remember when Hinckley shot Reagan. We knew more. We knew so much about. I was a kid. I remember it clearly. We knew more about Hinckley within a week, and there was no internet or anything back then, than we know about either of these guys, either of these assassins. Good point. Hey, listen, thanks for the call.
The Blackwater thing.
Yeah. All right, take care. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes?
Hey, Brian, this is Sarah.
Sarah in Colorado. Hey, Trump's coming to town.
Yeah, I'm in my car in the parking lot. The parking lot is in overflow.
Oh, you're. Wait a minute. You were at the Aurora, Colorado location of President Trump's rally already?
Yeah. It's at a big hotel. That's where he's speaking at.
And you're in the parking lot.
Yeah, and the overflow is overflowing.
That's odd. You think you're going to make it in?
I think he speaks at 1 o'clock.
Your time. So that's 3 in the afternoon, our time.
Yeah, so we all have to be inside by 10 o'clock.
Oh, that's awesome. Have you been to a Trump rally before?
This is my 4th one.
4th one. You know, every MAGA person needs to go to at least one. Your 4th one. That's awesome. That's exciting. Do you have any MAGA gear on? Do you have like your Make America Great Again hat on?
Yeah, I just got my hat on, but they've got people selling stuff right when you drive in.
They do. That's right. It's good for business. You know, I'm hoping that President Trump shows on the big screen the video of those Venezuelan gang members taking over that apartment building in Aurora. I hope he shows that. I want to hear the crowd in Colorado's reaction to that video.
Yeah, well, the thing is right now is the liberals here are all crying. Yesterday, the governor is like giving Trump talking points about how lovely Aurora is, and it's all lies. We're all sitting there going, you are so lying.
How far did you drive to go to this?
It took me an hour.
Oh, so you're not that far. That's good.
There's also people from Wyoming, Nebraska, the Dakotas are here. People come all over.
That's awesome. That's great. Awesome. Well, if you see the president, tell him that I said hi, all right? All right, take care. I appreciate it. Take care. All right, our number 1-888-465-2631. I'm going to play the sound bites of Kamala being destroyed in the Univision town hall in the next hour. Steve will be joining us too, and they're beautiful. She was totally filleted by the Spanish, don't worry, it's translated, by the Spanish-speaking questioners at the town hall, plus getting busted using a teleprompter at a town hall. It was a disaster for Kamala, that town hall. Now, here's a question that's very important. Are you and your family drinking toxic water? Mine was, and I didn't even know it until Angel Water came out to my house and tested my water, and I found out I was drinking toxic water, but no more, because I have my water filtration system from Angel Water. And the water is filtered before it enters my home. So all the water in my house is filtered. All the water in my appliances, my washing machine, dishwasher, my refrigerator, my sinks, my toilets, my showers, my bathtubs, did I say my water heater, my clothes washer, my dishwasher, everything. Oh, you know, this really blew me away. My garden hoses are even filtered water. Yeah, all the water is now filtered with the Angel Water system. It's amazing. My daughter, who's been visiting from California, you know, when she was out in California, she got a different type of water than we have in Florida, and she came back and was visiting, and she's like, this is terrible. She didn't want to shower in the house when she came back from California because she said the water felt dirty, you know, and when she showered with the Angel Water purification system in the house, she noticed right away. She had the same reaction my wife and I did. My daughter said her skin feels like it's been moisturized. Her hair, without using conditioner, feels as if it's been conditioned. It's that good. It's absolutely amazing. Now, Angel Water will, of course, make you healthier. It'll extend the life of your water-based appliances like your water heater, dishwashers, washing machines, and more. It takes out toxins other systems don't. And it also gets rid of those forever chemicals that are the most dangerous thing in our water right now, according to the EPA, okay? And they have an incredible offer for listeners of our radio station. Angel Water will give you a free under-the-sink reverse osmosis system with the purchase of a whole house refiner. I have both of those, the reverse osmosis system and the whole house refiner. And you'll get that reverse osmosis system under your sink for free with the purchase of your whole house refiner. They're also offering 12 months no-interest financing with no prepayment penalty. Give them a call. Angel Water will send Rocky out to test your water like he tested mine. 561-899-6585. 561-899-6585. That's 561-899-6585. We'll be right back.
We take on the...
You there, Steve?
Yes.
Okay, I wanted to play these sound bites of Kamala getting destroyed at the town hall last night.
Sounds good. I'd like to hear it.
Okay, all right.
Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the All-Year Cooling Weather Center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Michael Marone from the All-Year Cooling Weather Center. Today is Friday, October 11th, 2024, and right now it's 74 degrees outside. As we go throughout the day, though, temperatures are going to reach as high as 83 degrees with some chances of some rain and cloudy skies throughout the whole day. So make sure you keep an umbrella close by, stay cool, stay dry, and have a wonderful start to your weekend.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
They're just over 17,000 customers across the Palm Beach County. This traffic works done by 360. And the tolls have been suspended until Monday. Very serious collision involving an over...
I'll be right back, guys.
Two right lanes blocked and the exit is blocked mid-solid from Glades Road. There's a crash on I-95 southbound at Glades Road that's on the right shoulder now. And in West Palm Beach, Southern Boulevard is shut down heading eastbound at the North Farms Road from a collision. October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month. While multi-factor authentication is another step to staying cyber safe, Norton 360 offers the cyber protection you need to protect yourself from today's sophisticated threats. Get up to 58% off at norton.com/secure. That's traffic. I'm Beverly Bentley Steele.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Listen to the PBKC Picks live podcast every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. It's showtime at PBKC. Get your tickets today for Paddock dinner shows, including the Pure Zeppelin Experience this Friday night, October 11th, plus Let It Be November 8th, and Petty Nicks November 22nd. And don't miss comedian Jimmy Fallon for 2 shows, November 15th and 16th. The Paddock is also your best bet for OTB action and football Sundays. For more info, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Brian Craig here. When it comes time to get my blood work done, I don't have time to spend hours in the doctor's office or waiting hours in one of those big labs. That's why I go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs for all of my lab work. Their techs are highly skilled and professional, and their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest on lab work you'll find anywhere. Appointments aren't necessary. Doctor's orders and prescriptions, they're not needed either. I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less. I get the results the next day in my email box, and they also send it to my doctor. There's lots of Any Lab Test Nows around, but these are the only 2 advertising on our radio station. Only go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is in the Sandalwood Plaza. That's where the Western...
Oh, Chuck. Chuck's in the chat. I was wondering about you, Chuck. I was going to text you yesterday, but I thought you had more important things on your mind, so you got through it. Yeah, he was in the heart of the path of the storm, of the hurricane.
summer are upon us. Your AC is struggling, running constantly, trying to hold the temperature, maybe even failing late afternoon. Your electric bill has gone up, even double. Radiant Barrier is the cure. Stop the heat gain, lowering the temperatures in the attic up to 40 degrees, cutting the FPL bills up to 40%. Dog days of summer sales, save 50% on Radiant Barrier and insulation, insulation removal, wrap proofing. We even do AC ducts in the heat of the summer. Act now and get $500 off Radiant Barrier over 2,000 square feet and $1,000 off over 4,000 square feet, plus a 30% federal tax credit. So call now, 954-939-1500 to save big. Call 954-939-1500 and talk to the owner, Scott. 954-939-1500. Cut my kilowatts down. Estimates given on the phone, work done in days, not weeks. Easier than ordering a pizza.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? I did, until I went to Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in my hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching, have all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642.
All right.
Since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, the third hour has begun. 2 days after the hurricane, I'm Brian. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve.
I'm here.
Oh, yes, yes. Oh, things are really falling apart for Kamala. Trump is...
She was officially finished.
Oh, well, Trump is now, in all the polls, ahead in 6 of the 7 battlegrounds. So that's huge.
All over but the shouting.
Well, yeah, that's exactly 3 weeks away. Can I get here soon enough? I mean, I don't like suspense. I don't like suspense.
To me, there's no suspense. It's
well
have happened already.
Yeah. Well, Kamala Harris did a town hall meeting last night on Univision. Univision hates Trump. Right? They're part of I think they're part of NBC. And it was a disaster for her. She was filleted. Now, there's one thing that people will be showing you on television probably. I can't show it to you. I have to tell you about it. This is the least of the problem that she had. But she got caught during the live town hall using a teleprompter while speaking at a town hall. And as the cameras showed it, and as soon as they saw it was on TV, it was gone. But town halls, you're not supposed to have teleprompters at town halls. Candidates are supposed to free associate and speak right from their heart and mind. I've never seen this before.
Both, though, to speak from...
Mm-hmm. That's right, a heart, a mind, and...
heart and a mind.
Yeah, that's correct, that's correct.
Efficient in both categories.
Mm-hmm, yeah. That's for sure. But the questions were pretty brutal for her. And I promise you, as much of a bird brain as Kamala Harris is, when this town hall was over, she was screaming at her staff for allowing this to happen. You know, these town halls for Democrats are usually scripted staged plays, just like that debate with David Muir and Kamala's sorority sister on ABC with Trump a few weeks back. They're handpicked people that ask them softball questions. What's it like being you? If you were not a woman of color, would these Republican people really be opposed? You know, but it didn't go that way. They asked real questions. And the Democrats, Kamala Harris, they're racist. They think all Hispanic people are criminal Venezuelan gang members that are coming to America to rape and plunder. And I think they were shocked to find out that Hispanic Americans have the same concerns that other Americans have. So here I've got like 3 clips. This is the first one, and it's in Spanish, but they were kind enough to translate it for us in real time during the town hall. So the commentator translates it to Kamala. Okay, listen.
I used to spend $250 a week in food, and now it goes up to $350.
$200 to move over, $350 in groceries.
Not only do I talk about food, but utilities, clothes, everything is much more expensive.
Energy, and clothes.
Sí, y bueno, pues yo soy de la clase media.
I am middle class, and I work a lot, and just like everybody else in the middle class, we work very hard. It's ambition. That ambition, sometimes it's really difficult to keep up with because we see life is going up, and we just simply cannot go ahead. We can't move ahead.
And you said we're ambitious, but it's hard to maintain that ambition when conditions are so hard, so challenging.
Yes. Mi pregunta es entonces.
So my question is as follows: what are you going to do to help the middle class so that the cost of living does not destroy us?
Okay, so this is a great question, and and I'll play you Kamala's answer. So basically, what the woman said is, she has 5 kids. Her groceries used to be $2.50 a week. Now they're $3.50 a week. It's not just that; utilities, and she goes through a long list. Everything has gone up, and she can't afford to live. So she's asking Willie Brown's girlfriend here, what is she going to do so that she can afford to feed her kids?
Living does not destroy us.
Thank you for the question and your point. Listen, I know prices are too high still. You know prices are too high still. And we have to deal with it. Here's how I feel about it. Again, you've heard my story. I come from the working class. I'm never going to forget where I come from.
Okay, now first of all, let me just go back. Yeah.
Since she was from the
middle class.
Middle class.
Now she's the working class. She's downgraded.
The demotion.
That's correct. Now, no. I don't feel bad for Kamala. She's a terrible person, Steve. She's a terrible person.
There's no question of that. You know.
She's not done, though. She's got more. But here's the thing. I know. She downgraded her family. They're now working class.
That didn't even take a generation.
No, it's working backwards. But working class and middle class, both of her parents are Marxist college professors. I have never known a Marxist tenured college professor to refer to themselves as middle class or working class. Okay? First off, college professors, they got 3. I remember my professors, the full-time professors, had 3 classes a week. 3. That's it. Those classes are like 2 hours and 50 minutes, right? A week. So they work like 6 hours a week. That is not working class or middle class. That's called retirement. But anyway, let's get back to it.
Conditions are so hard, so challenging.
Yes. Mi pregunta es entonces.
So my question is as follows: what are you going to do to help the middle class so that the cost of living does not destroy us?
Thank you for the question.
Oh, yes.
I know prices are too high still. You know prices are too high still. And we have to deal with it. Here's how I feel about it. Again, you've heard my story. I come from the working class. I'm never going to forget
Working class now.
And part of what we have to do is build what I call an opportunity economy, where people have the opportunity, like you have described, for you to be able to work hard and your 5 daughters have an opportunity to then do what they and what you aspire for them to be able to do without having to worry about just getting by. I want you to be able to get ahead. So here's my plan. It includes what we need to do to bring down the cost of, for example, groceries. One of the issues I'm going to be taking on is price gouging.
Price gouging. Yeah, she's going to nationalize the food industry like they did in the Soviet Union. That worked out really well, didn't it? Didn't it collapse? Oh my goodness. But she's trying to feed her kids now. And how does first, that is not price gouging. Price gouging is you see price gouging in times of tragedy. The example I give is the hurricane, right? So like the hurricane, gas is $3.50 a gallon. If some local gas station all of a sudden makes it $9 a gallon, that's price gouging. Price is going up because the cost of everything has gone up. To bring those goods to market is not price gouging. But hey, did you see her with the shovel the other day digging? Miss Working Class, Steve? Oh yeah, you got to see that. This woman has never touched a shovel in her life. It was this working class girl. She's just another Mary Tyler Moore, Steve. This working class girl we got. Now, I want to tell you guys, obviously we got hit by a very bad hurricane here in Florida, a very bad one. And pretty much the entire state was affected. Look at the damage we've had just in the neighborhood here where I'm at with the tornadoes in Wellington and Palm Beach Gardens. It's insane. If you're in the state of Florida and you've had damage to your roof, you want to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting and Roofing. He'll take care of you. And you know, Tom Laporta, he's a good MAGA guy, but he's not just a roofer, he's a contractor, which under Florida law allows Tom to deal directly with your insurance company on the cost of the repair or replacement of your roof, which speeds up the process a lot. His response time when you call is quick. Those of you that called him yesterday, you can attest to that. Okay, and I know a lot of you called yesterday because Tom told me that you called, and he gets back to you fast, and he gets to you fast. He works on every type of structure, residential or commercial. If you have a community like a condo community, HOA community, apartment buildings, he can help no matter what size that community is, 1 building or 150 buildings. He can help you with your single-family home, no matter how small or how large it is, as well as commercial and municipal buildings. And Tom was recently involved in the restoration of a church here in Florida by redoing their roof. This number rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone. Give him a call, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. That's 954-604-4602. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the side.
Hi. This one.
South as well as what was coming north. So I will put my record up against anyone.
Antes yo me gastaba unos $200.
Need that for it.
Mm-hmm.
Repairs, single-family homes, large HOA complexes, and churches. With great success, and every one of those customers are like family. We have installed all kinds of roofs from asphalt shingles, clay, and concrete tile.
Good. No
No
problems.
And flat roof
A lot of
systems.
tornadoes up here,
So come
though.
on, and let our family take care of your
Yeah.
family. Call me on my cell at 954-604-4602.
Yeah, Fox News is
or find us
broadcasting
on the web at
from up here.
LaportaContracting.com.
There's a truck that's
The
on its
number
side
again
somewhere in Palm
is
Beach Gardens.
954-604-4602.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
Steve
Fox
Kane.
News
I
is
want
like
to tell
they've
you
been out
about my
front all
favorite
day
restaurant in
broadcasting
all
from
of South Florida,
I
Wings
didn't see
Plus.
him. I heard him there this morning. I saw them there.
Everything homemade, nothing comes out of a can. Dozens of special.
All right, we'll be back after this, guys.
Make your mouth water. Wings Plus, located in Coral Springs, a mile west of University on the south side of Central Road.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9, Pearson on 95.3 FM, Fort
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve's here. You know, we've got to make a change on our commercial lineup, Steve. I just heard that commercial for Wings Plus. We got to put that in the last commercial break of the show because every time I hear you talking about Wings Plus, I get hungry. My stomach is growling. You know what it is when I hear that commercial? I forgot what the term is. You know how you can smell something that's not there? It's from your memory. I don't know what they call that. You know what I'm talking? Every time I hear that commercial, I can smell those great wings at Wings Plus, and I get hungry. I know, and my stomach's growling, and I can't eat, and oh my goodness, you know. But so we might have to move that recorded spot for the last commercial because at least I'm closer to being able to eat if it's the last commercial. Now I got to get through the next 40 minutes. Anyway, Wings Plus. They're on Sample Road in Coral Springs, about a mile west of University Drive on the south side of Sample. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. Okay, so Kamala was just destroyed in this Univision town hall in Spanish, and this guy here, this is the best, Steve. This is a good one. By the way, I want to thank Univision for translating this for us. Okay, because if they didn't do it, it would have all been done with closed captioning, and it would not have the same effect on the radio if I was reading the transcript as opposed to playing it with you having the translation done live. So I want to thank Univision for their help in exposing Kamala. Okay, so this guy last night, this is a good one, Steve. It's very self-explanatory. He's asking her about how she got her nomination.
For instance, you earned your candidacy without going through the normal process. That is primary elections or through a caucus. That really caught my attention.
Okay, so first off, it gets worse. Wait to hear the rest. So this guy here, he's like, you're sitting up here, you're the nominee, no one voted for you. That really got my attention, this coup that you were part of. How are you there without any elections, any votes? This is what it's like in the country I escaped from. That's what he's saying, right? Yeah, how did this happen? I'm sure that's what Kamala said when she was screaming at her staff. Anyway, let me start it over because it even gets better.
For instance, you earned your candidacy without going through the normal process. That is primary elections or through a caucus. That really caught my attention.
Candidate without going through the primaries or a caucus, like it usually happens.
That sort of inclined me to vote for Trump. However,
that's inclined me to vote for Trump. Oh my goodness. You are standing here before me without a single vote, yet somehow you got the nomination without the normal process of a primary or caucus. That has inclined me to vote for Trump, he says to her. This is great. I did not watch this last night because I figured it was going to be a big sucky thing of... Oh, this blew my mind. When I heard what happened, I watched it this morning, and it's beautiful. Because I thought it was going to be a bunch of people who were grown-up dreamers here due to no fault of their own, thanking her for opening up the southern border. But it was not she was filleted. All right, let me rewind it, then we'll play the rest, okay?
That sort of inclined me to vote for Trump. However, I'm still undecided.
Yeah.
Also,
oh, yeah, I know. Isn't this beautiful?
And it was something quite different. How President Biden was completely destituted.
Destituted. So now, how are you here? You didn't get any votes. You didn't go through the election process, and you're here. That inclined me to vote for Trump. And the way that you mistreated Biden, what he's saying is you took part in a coup and removed the president. This is what they did where I escaped from. This is Cuba. This is Venezuela. This is not America.
Also impacted me, and it was something quite different. How President Biden was completely destituted. It seemed something unprecedented. And so close to the elections.
Right now, leaning towards Trump, but haven't made a decision. I'm also concerned about the way I feel President Biden was pushed aside.
Oh, I like her response. Oh, oh my goodness, this is great.
Well, let me give you some other things.
Well, you haven't heard her answer yet, Steve. She's going to answer. You got to hear her answer. She's going to explain her coup.
I'm also concerned about the way I feel President Biden was pushed aside.
And so close to the elections, I believe these are extraordinary circumstances.
How close we are to the election. So, la pregunta, Mario?
And Mario's question?
The question, Mario.
So the question is, how can you clarify this whole process and how you were elected?
Sure. And first of all, thank you for being so candid. And
oh my goodness. People that have not followed elections for too long, I don't think appreciate the historical significance of this. Democrats go on these shows and these town halls to be commended for their bravery, to be put up on pedestals. They're supposed to be infomercials. They're not supposed to get real tough questions. And the reason that people like Kamala have trouble is not just because she's a bird brain. Democrats are never seriously challenged. Okay? So they don't have the skill set to have answers. Donald Trump, you ask him anything, and he's got an answer because he's used to the confrontational thing. He's a Republican. Democrats are always, what is your favorite color? How's it, like Oprah questions. What is it like being you? Or that real hardcore one from Howard Stern. Do you eat grape nuts in the morning? I'm not kidding. He asked her about grape nut cereal. Howard Stern. This is the guy that made himself, used to be a role model.
Suffering.
Let him suffer. Let him suffer. Let him suffer. And so she got some really tough questions. She didn't have an answer for anyone. There's more, but we're up against a break. I'm not going to play the veteran who couldn't get treatment. Oh, that was another one. It was devastating what happened to Kamala last night in that Univision town hall. I don't know how it happened because Univision hates Trump. They're liberal.
Reputation's on the line, and it's dawned on everybody that Biden is the kiss of
Kamala.
The kiss of death.
Yeah. And
Off with Biden.
They not better off with Biden? They would do.
Biden back.
And Biden is pissed. He's been undermining her all week on different things he's done. So this is, let me tell you, this town hall, and I think I can say this with confidence. If somebody else hasn't, if you're on hold, stand by. We'll start taking some calls after the break, okay? It is open phones today, open Mega Mike Friday. Any and everything on your mind's fair game today. You're not limited to this, but to my knowledge, this is the most devastating town hall in the history of presidential town halls I've ever seen. I've never seen a candidate so destroyed in a town hall, especially a Democrat like this, ever. It's never happened before. All right, we'll take our break for the bottom. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Steve Kane is here. I'm Brian. We'll be right back. Now, guys, make sure to order your copy of The Sound of Light from Robert Allen Miltenberg. There's a direct link to this book in the description of the video. Or you can just go to Amazon and search for The Sound of Light, Robert Allen Miltenberg. All of Robert Allen Miltenberg's books are there. They are all available for purchase. This one here, the paperback that I have here is just $9.99. I love this paperback because it's got the nice size print that's easy on the eyes. I read this. It's a great book. The Kindle Unlimited is available for free to you if you're a Kindle Unlimited member. The Sound of Light from Robert Allen Miltenberg on Amazon. Order your copy. Again, there's a direct link in the description of the video. Oh, this is good stuff.
I went in there last week. I had a knee problem, and one session I feel so much better. I brought my mother there yesterday. She has a problem with her right side or her arm. She's right-handed. She feels better. It's amazing. For people out there that are dealing with pain, believe me, there is an alternative.
That's
Go
right.
in there for the free consultation. FREE free. You will lose. The only thing you'll lose is the pain that you're dealing with. Do not suffer. Go in to see Dr. Appleton, the greatest visit of your life.
Give Dr. Appleton a call right now. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Online, AppletonCairo.com. Open Monday through Saturday. Appointments not necessary. And walk-ins are welcome. 954-973-0710. Mike Lindell is offering wholesale pricing for...
Now, Woody, that was not a reporter. Bill Clinton did a town hall on MTV in '92, and a girl asked boxers or briefs. It wasn't a reporter. It was one of the kids on MTV.
which is $14.88, the lowest price ever. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879, promo code KANE.
Yeah, I watched it. But that girl that asked was probably my age. I'd like to know what became of her. Like, was she some Democrat operative? For all I know, it could have been Gretchen Whitmer.
Medicare recipients, listen up. Open enrollment is the only time of year you can make
I'd like to know what happened.
existing Medicare plan.
Let me see if I can do a quick Google.
No matter where you're located in the state of Florida, for expert help this open enrollment period, 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. That's 954-753-8080.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business for 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repair.
Briefs. Mr. President, the world's dying to know, is it boxers or briefs?
Yeah.
I'll give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. Steve, I got one more clip to play before we go to the calls because I want to. I got two. Let me play this one's quick, and then the other one is quick but not as quick. On the town halls, okay, Kamala getting these questions. Town halls are usually scripted events for Democrats. The people are handpicked, questions are approved, and it's a scripted play. So, and they're there to make the Democrat look good, not bad, like happened last night. And somebody mentioned this during the break to me, so I pulled it up. This is the town hall of Bill Clinton when he was running for president, the MTV town hall. Okay, and these are the kind of questions that Democrats typically get.
Mr. President, the world's dying to know, is it boxers or briefs?
Usually briefs.
Oh boy, see that's what usually happens. These town halls are set up as infomercials for the Democrats. What do you think the chances are Bill Clinton ended up having sex with that girl? Probably pretty good. But this is the other one I wanted to play. This is more serious. There's a Kamala scandal that is just dropping. She's injected herself into this hurricane stuff. Instead of doing hurricane relief, she's trying to act like a victim. They won't talk to me because I'm a woman of color. She's not calling anybody, you know. Listen to this. We got now. This is just developing, but I got this from the Hodge twins. You guys that know the Hodge twins.
And then also from that video, I started getting a lot of messages, like to my Instagram, from actual aircraft commanders, like squadron commanders.
No kidding.
I had a squadron commander from North.
Oh yeah, and this was, by the way, this is on the Blaze. So I got it from the Hodge twins. The Hodge twins got it from the Blaze. Okay, so we're playing the game of telephone.
And then also from that video, I started getting a lot of messages, like to my Instagram, from actual aircraft commanders, like squadron commanders.
No kidding.
I had a squadron commander from North Carolina reach out to me. They had to load a C-17 full of supplies just to take a photo op for Kamala, and they never sent the bird.
Wait a minute, what?
They loaded an entire C-17 full of supplies for the hurricane victims just for Kamala to go there, take a photo, take a video, and they never sent the C-17. It was just
Are you serious?
Yeah, that was a National Guard, North Carolina National Guard unit. That was a 06.
Well, that's pretty big. If that can be proven, that would be a devastating story. See, I told you, there's no such thing as an October surprise anymore because people vote for a month. We have voting month. So what we have a month of surprises, right? And that's a devastating story. All right, let's go. If you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take these calls in the order they were received. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Barbara calling you from Baltimore. What you just said, what you just played, has almost taken everything else I wanted to talk about off the table. That is huge on video. I guess, first of all, thank God for Ron DeSantis is the governor of your state and that you people are safe. Florida, I know there was tragedy there, but it would have been much worse if Governor DeSantis was not your governor. So
really, what did he do that protected Florida from the storm? I mean, he's doing a great job. Don't get me wrong, but you say we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. How did he save us?
First of all, that's not what I wanted to talk about. He prepared, and it's not like what happened in Georgia.
Yes.
Kemp did not follow what was going on with the weather because mudslides happen where rain is. So
okay, all right, okay. What are you talking about? You're right. Governor DeSantis is doing a great job. And if you notice, so what'd you call about?
Thank you. The Univision just gave President Trump a solid independent. Any Hispanics who saw that, and a lot of just regular people, they just gave this vote to President Trump. The only thing that they could do now is steal its election.
And they're not going to be able to. They got no machine. I've been telling you guys, the Democrat machine is not in play. Univision is part of the Democrat machine. And if Univision, if the Democrat machine wanted Kamala to win, she would have gotten boxer and brief questions at the town hall. Not, I can't feed my kids. The veteran, so.
Interview. That's the most damn
town hall. It was devastating.
I can't believe it, but I wanted to address Obama jumping in here to try to pull her across the line, and because people forget about who Obama is and what he did. He's a smooth talker, yeah. He looks good, and all that. But Obama,
He didn't look good. He looked
Yeah, and rusty. He looked very rusty to me. I heard him talk. He was very rusty, Obama.
He looked like he wanted to get the hell out. That's what he looked like.
Barbara, exactly. If Obama really wanted Kamala to win, why was he not with her? Why is he not campaigning in the same location?
Realizing that Kamala is the kiss of death. That's what they're realizing. Realize that rather than make Kamala look good, Kamala is going to make them look bad.
Absolutely, yes. And not only that, President Trump has an advertising team that is the best I've ever seen, ever. As a former, I used to have a Jackson Hewitt franchise. It was one of the things I did. So advertising is everything.
A what franchise? What kind of franchise?
Jackson Hewitt.
Oh, okay. Awesome, cool.
They finally figured it out. What they do, all the advertising
They
they're
have
doing
all of her
features
commercials,
Kamala.
her words, and the ads that President Trump, his advertising team is unlike anything I have ever witnessed. And trust me, there are going to be some parts from that Univision interview that are going to be in an ad because he has so much stuff that's in her words on when he's been playing them at the rally.
And I'm gonna tell you something. The Univision. By the way, Barbara, thanks for the call. The Univision, where they show that she was using a teleprompter, which is unheard of in a town hall. I don't think that was an accident. I think that was part of the operation of Univision. They obviously Univision set her up last night. They welcomed her in. She thought she was going to be welcomed and thanked for being her.
Who else got set up last night? Who got set up is
Who? I need more information than that. I don't know. I want to throw something out to our local listeners. Okay, I've been driving every day on southbound I-95 in Palm Beach. It's in Boynton. There's a Kamala billboard that I am calling complete BS on. And this billboard, it's southbound I-95 in Boynton Beach. It's when you go by the CarMax, okay? The billboard is on 95, right where the CarMax is, on southbound 95 in Palm Beach. I believe that's Boynton Beach. It says, Haitians for Kamala. And it has Kamala's picture on it and Tim Walz. I find it impossible to believe that billboard was really put up by Haitians. I cannot believe that billboard was really put up by Haitians. I mean, I know Haitians in South Florida typically are conservative. I know a lot of it doesn't make sense to me. I'm calling BS on that billboard. All right, let's see here. Let's go back to the phones. Let me try to take them in the order they came in. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Maine, Brian.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, not only about that C-17 with that load of stuff going in, there was 40, 50 tractor trailers going into North Carolina, and there was other ones there. All the ones that were marked for relief going to the worst sites in North Carolina had their tires slashed. And I forget where I heard this, but that's true, Brian. It was on Real America's Voice. And all the trucks that weren't going for relief weren't touched. This is a big story, and I think President Trump ought to announce it because those people are suffering in North Carolina. There was 3 reefer trucks that were seen leaving, and I was told they were full of dead.
Wait a minute. Reefer trucks? You mean like what's a reefer truck? Reefer's marijuana. What's a reefer truck?
No. Reefer truck is a refrigeration.
Oh, a refrigeration truck. Okay. With dead bodies. Oh my goodness. I will look into that. This story. Yeah, go ahead.
Not only that, Brian, every time she gets talking anywhere, doing anything, she shows how much of a ignorant person she is. This is becoming a joke. She can't even use a teleprompter. Remember the one that went blank on her and this horror look come over her face?
That's right.
Didn't know what to do.
Yeah, that was last weekend.
This is the person there running for president of the United States. This is absolutely a laughing stock. And we need to get the vote out. 30% of Christians don't vote. If we get every Christian we know to vote,
You know, why do you think that is? Trump has been talking about this. Why do so many Christians not vote?
And I'll tell you right now what it is, because they don't have a real preacher in the pulpit. They got these people that want to be politically correct, Brian. Not to be political correct, but to be America first correct. That's what Trump's doing. Need to make sure we have our voices heard and get everyone we know to vote.
All right. Hey Jeff, I gotta run. It sure is. I gotta run for the break. Mike, are we gonna do the recorded version of that? You got the recorded version ready? Just let me know when you got the recorded version. Okay. I want to remind you, there's an incredible sale, Steve, going on from MyPillow, and this is the lowest price ever on the MyPillows. The standard MyPillow that started it all, I paid $65 for this pillow 10 years ago. Right now, with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, just $14.88. It's an incredible deal. $14.88, an incredible deal. The queen size MyPillow, okay. The queen size MyPillow, just $18.88, and the king size, my wife just ordered 2 of these. The king size, just $1 more, just $18.88. Plus, free shipping on all orders over $75 with our promo code Kane, Kane, at checkout at mypillow.com. You can also order by phone toll-free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879, promo code Kane, Kane. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve.
All right, and it's the first post-Hurricane Milton Gold and Precious Metals report from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca. We have William Youngerman. William Youngerman, how are the metals looking today?
The metal's looking very good, actually quite strong. Yesterday or day before, we went and tested the $2,600 number, and it held very nicely, getting down to about a low of $2,603 on gold. And yesterday, rallying up $22.30 to close at $2,630 the ounce. Silver was up 63 cents, closing out the day at $31.11, while platinum gained $20 at $970, and palladium was up $21 at $1,057. Overnight, we've seen gold trading in a range of $2,628 on the low to $2,651. And right now, gold's at $2,642 the ounce. That's up $12. Silver's up 14 cents at $31.25 the ounce. Platinum's up $5 at $975. And palladium's up $1 at $1,058. So gold doing very well. Silver doing fine. Still buying the dips is the answer. And the dips don't last very long, and they aren't very big. So don't get greedy. Just get in and buy the metals when you can.
Yeah, and at William Youngerman's, all the metals are available for immediate delivery, and that's absolutely amazing. Give William Youngerman a call. He opens up at 10 a.m. His number, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. Or stop in at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway, on the south side of Palmetto, on the first floor of the Bank of America building. And when you enter the building, William Youngerman is directly across from the bank lobby. And you can find both his address and phone number on his website, WilliamYoungerman.com. And I think at WilliamYoungerman.com you have a link to your virtual museum, if I remember correctly, William. Yeah, so which you guys should check out. It's a beautiful thing. WilliamYoungerman.com. All right, we'll talk to you on Monday, William Youngerman. All right, we'll be right back.
Take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now, the Steve Kane Show.
All right. Oh, Vogue just put Kamala on the cover, Steve. This is the most doctored photograph I have ever seen. But they have a description of Kamala. I'm going to read it to you guys. Okay. Vogue. They have her on the cover. And that photo looks very altered. The head does not look like it went with that body. It looks like they put two photographs together, heavily airbrushed. But anyway, this is how Vogue describes Kamala Harris, Steve. Only rarely are individuals summoned for acts of national rescue. Well, wait a second. She's the incumbent. Who's she rescuing the country from? Herself? I will admit, it is rare to have someone be called to rescue somebody from themselves. That is very rare. Only rarely are individuals summoned for acts of national rescue. But in July, Vice President Kamala Harris received one of those calls. With President Joe Biden's decision to end his re-election campaign, the world looked to Harris with hopes and doubts. Yes. Oh, my goodness. And then they describe her as the candidate for our times, Vice President Kamala Harris. And I'll tell you another thing. Not only does this photo look very doctored and very airbrushed, it looks very manly, too. This doesn't look like her normal face to me. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning.
Yes, you're on the air.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Hi, this is Eeyore from Rochester, New York.
Oh, hey, Eeyore.
Good morning, Brian, and good morning, Steve. I love your show.
Thank you.
Love your show. You know what? I would like to see our mega president call your mega show and have a mega interview him.
Donald Trump, yeah. You know, let me ask you, if Donald Trump were to call in or we were to have him in studio, what question would you want me to ask him that he hasn't been asked 10,000 times? I'm serious. What question?
He answered everything. He answered all my questions. Immigration, with the inflation, with the...
You know, he did an interview, Trump did an interview the other day, and the guy that interviewed him was a comedian, and he asked him a funny question, actually. The reason I asked that, to interview someone like that, it's a tough interview because they do so many interviews and talk so much. To ask them something they've never been asked before and catch them is difficult. So I'm paraphrasing what the guy said. It was much funnier when he said it. But he's sitting down with President Trump. This was about 2 or 3 days ago. And he says, Barron just went off to college at New York University. And I said, yeah, he's doing good. He says he's very popular, he's young, he's very good looking, and he's rich. Are you rethinking the overturning of Roe v. Wade now, Mr. President? And they all laughed, and President Trump kind of laughed. You know, it was kind of a funny thing. Made a little abortion. I thought that was kind of a clever joke told in an interesting way. But I appreciate it. I will take care of that. He's the guy that flew down from Rochester for the laser wave pain treatment from Dr. Appleton. Good guy. All right. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is JJ from Mass. Good morning, guys.
Hey, JJ.
JJ.
I was thinking, Kamala, or Kamala, when she does interviews, it's sort of like it's a play, and everybody is using one script, and she's the only person that's like, it's like a drama, but she's in a horror flick. She just seems like out of place. The interview on Univision was classic. I mean, I think, Una Mas Cerveza, I think she wanted to head back to Colbert and maybe have another Miller. But the word salad, I mean,
Well, you got to keep in mind, that was not an interview. That was a town hall with questions from the audience, yeah.
Yeah, and the applause button. I was thinking about the media. And you remember the old shows, and even now they have, if you go to a live studio audience, they might have an applause button. The producers are waving applause.
Yep.
To me, that's like the media.
Do you know what's interesting to me for watching? I'd love to see the way Obama is reacting during this. They brought him in to save things, and it's been exactly the opposite. She is relaying her disastrous status and destroying his population. She's just...
I think the reason that he was he was campaigning for her but not with her, and he's done this before. I think the rumors that they had an affair is true, and I don't think Michelle will allow Barack to be with her.
Well, I'll tell you this: there's a few words that have a lot more meaning to me now is one was Trump during the second Butler rally when he said, "As I was saying," I just kind of burst with emotion. I'll always think of "as I was saying." When I hear that, I think of Trump, and when I hear significance or the insignificant, I just start laughing because it's how stupid Kamala is. It just reminds me of her, and being, of course, the unburdened.
And everybody realizes it. Everybody that tries
She's
to
so
help her
phony.
is going to get tainted by this.
See, that town hall would have been different if she wasn't the incumbent, right? Like if she was the senator from California running against the incumbent president, and you had a veteran say he couldn't get treatment, or a woman who can't afford groceries, that it would be different. But those people at the town hall on Univision were blaming her for their suffering.
Beautiful music watching. To a Democrat, if you were thinking about that's like nails on the chalkboard. To me, that was like just beautiful music.
So who's got the Hispanic vote now? Looks like Trump to me.
Trump does. El Jefe.
All right. You're speaking all kinds of Spanish. I don't understand.
Means leader.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Lynn from Boynton.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, so the gentleman that was on just a little earlier about the people slashing the tires on the semis.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so I looked that up, and it was 51 trucks got their tires slashed and carrying the food, and they arrested the 8 illegals who were doing it.
Illegals.
Yes, all of them were illegal, 8 of them. And they were offloading the food and stealing the food is what they want.
Oh.
Supplies. That's what they want.
Oh, they were trying to hijack. They were hijacking the trucks, is what they were doing.
Exactly. So they cut the tires.
Well. Listen. These Kamala dreamers. You don't think they have a right to have their dream of America come true? What do you mean? Come on.
America the free, Brian. Come get it for free.
But yeah, did Steve did you hear Rabbi David's call this morning?
Yes, I did.
Oh my goodness, was that not a classic call, Steve? That was a beautiful call. That was beautiful. He was talking to, this was great, Rabbi David. He was, his wife wanted him, I think it was his wife, someone wanted Rabbi David to talk to their Democrat friend to get them to vote for Obama. And this woman is she's an elderly lady, Jewish lady. She's voting for Kamala, and she says to Rabbi David, her opposition to Trump involves abortion. She says to Rabbi David, "What would you do if your daughter was impregnated by a black man?" And Rabbi David said, "Why does he have to be black? Why can't the rapist be white?" I mean, that's your typical liberal racist for you. Oh my goodness, not just any man, a black man. I know what you would do, Steve. You'd adopt the baby, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, go ahead, caller.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say, hey, JJ from Massachusetts that calls, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love that guy's calls. I really do.
He's good.
And you know what? God, he sounds like Donald Trump.
You never know. You're calling from from Boynton, where that Haitians for Kamala billboard is on I-95.
Seen it yet? We're going to go down and check.
It's on 95 southbound, right where the CarMax is.
I know exactly where that is, and the thing is, I don't believe any Haitian would put that.
I don't either. I call total BS on it. First of all, if the Haitians were putting up a billboard like that, it would be in Miami where the Haitians are, not Boynton Beach. I mean, give me a break.
Yeah, all right. Well, you guys are great, and you guys are great.
Well, what's your husband whispering in your ear?
He says, tell him that, when I go by, if I see it, I'll shoot a bullet.
Oh, I'm glad I asked. I'm so glad I asked that. Good. Okay, let's, okay. See, I shouldn't have asked. I should have left it in the background. If you're... Oh, my goodness. If you're on hold, stand by. I had to dump that. But it's, I tell you, you never know. It's always that one last call. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm just waiting for the delay to re-engage. And, oh, boy. Yeah, I was live yesterday after the hurricane, Steve. 3-hour show. There were no phones because the phones were down from the hurricane. It was a good show, though. Okay, the delay is re-engaged. You're on the air.
Pompano?
Hey, Richard.
Okay, maybe we can end on a lighter note. I'm curious.
If who's okay?
the peacocks and the trees
The peacocks at the radio station are okay. Yes, with the peacocks of the radio station are doing well. They're doing very well. Yes, I saw them yesterday after the hurricane. They survived. All right, take care. Oh boy, Steve, it's another week is over. So today's a big. Yeah, today's a big day. Trump is going to be speaking first in Aurora, Colorado, and Sarah is representing us there. And where Aurora is, of course, under siege from the Venezuelan prison gangs. And then after that, he's going to Reno, Nevada, and has a rally there. So today is a Trump day.
Announced that he's going to make it they're renting Madison Square.
That's correct. Yeah.
That's the coup de grace.
Yeah, Billy Joel just gave up his residency there. He did his last Madison Garden concert, Billy Joel. I guess he probably would have kept it if he knew Trump was going to rent it. Yeah, Billy Joel. I hate when I find out these people that I am fans of are Democrats. You know what I mean? It kind of spoils the music.
Show business people.
Yeah, that's exactly. Well, they're not all liberal. Some of them are conservative, but Yeah, I know. Well, listen, if you're on hold, stand by. We will be back Monday morning at 6 a.m. If you stay on hold, you'll be first in line Monday. I'm Brian Steve Kane's here. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. We'll see you Monday morning at 6 a.m.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Mirror.
All right, guys. Hey, listen, if you're new, subscribe, okay? And if you're already sub, please like the video. I'll see you later. Take care, everyone. Thanks so much for watching.